Ryan, I appreciate your optimism that we will make it through 3 days. Although we are in like a down kind of period in the game, so like maybe, probably not. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things on my list, and none of the 7 things on here are jury duty, which we will talk about. So I don't know. I do think we will manage to get through more than just neutrinos, like the last one. But anyways, it's great, Carl. I will not fulfill your request, but I do feel your pain. Also, Brian, thank you so much for that resub. Thank you for your Prime. I appreciate it. Taking money directly from Jeff Bezos and giving it to me is much appreciated. Progress is still progress. This is true. Carl, I will not give you shit if you get Chinese tonight. I just want you to know that. Chinese is too far since I'm not going to the gym. Okay. Still on the clock. Gross! I don't miss production days, man. I really don't. Love the top. Thank you very much! I like all the strappy bits. I also like that it like frames my necklace. I got, some of y'all remember there was something I posted months ago from a jewelry thing that I do not know how to pronounce correctly. It's BISOU. They do fun, like, nerd-inspired jewelry. So, like, I have, but it's all, like, nice shit. Like, I've got, like, a really nice, like, Zelda ring set that you can, like, it's 2 stacking rings, and either together they are the symbol for the royal family, that Sheikah symbol, or you can, like, unstack them and do stuff. It's awesome. But they've started doing, tarot necklaces, but with, like, a 6-month lead time. So I ordered this back in October, and I was like, cool, it'll be here in, like, April. Finished them early! Showed up last week. I actually think I had this on for Persona last week, but I forgot to point it out. And then last week was traumatizing, so it just never came up. So I was like, this is very appropriate for the night, though. So this is the tower. I decided I've got a lot of tower energy in my life, so I felt like it was very representative. So I went with that one. But yeah, so I like how my crazy strappy top, like, also, like, frames that, and it's great. Carl, I have been there, where I'm just so tired. I'm like, I know I have to eat, but, like, the idea of deciding on any kind of food and then going through the effort of acquiring it just sounds like too much. I get that. Might have been a mod chat thing. Maybe. I don't know anymore. Metric, you'll be happy to know, the place I got this from is actually based in Canada, so I paid out the ass for shipping, but it's here now. It has been a long week since we last streamed. Yeah, I'm sorry about not being able to stream on Monday. We will talk about it. I'm gonna wait for James to get here because I don't want him to miss any of the good stories. But I did have jury duty on Monday. Ah! Wartburg, thank you so much for that resub. 2 more months. 2 more months. We're getting there. Yeah, so Monday, was jury duty, which was, it was just, like, if you've never done jury duty before, basic format is that, there's a large pool of people, and then through some process, and I will explain why I'm saying it like that, they whittle it down to 12 jurors, and a 13th is like an alternate, so that way if something happens to one of the original 12, like somebody gets very ill, car accident, whatever, there is still a panel of 12 jurors. They whittle it down to the 13. And the way that process is supposed to go, it was supposed to be like, maybe like a 3-hour day for the jury selection. And then if you got picked, then you had a longer day, whatever. So it was much longer than 3 hours. And it did end well before the stream, but at that point, I had negative energy. Not like energy, but I was like, my tank was so, I was beyond running on fumes at that point. So I was like, I can't interact with anything. I am not gonna be able to, like, talk at all. Jeff picked me up because he is an angel, and I get very stressed about parking situations, and there's no parking at the courthouse. you have to just park somewhere downtown, pay for that parking, because there's no free place. Do that and then walk. And I was like, what? Where? And also, South by Southwest is starting this weekend. So a lot of downtown is a fucking nightmare and already kind of blocked off for all the preparations for that. So rather than making me stress about that on top of everything else, he dropped me off and picked me up. And when he picked me up, I got into the car. I was kind of like, sit. And he looks at me, he's like, you want to go home and have a drink? I'm like, yeah. It was a thing, man. It was a thing. Oh, yeah, when you say you can't tell if the makeup is sparkling or if it's the green screen. I was like, fuck, I haven't used my blue eyeshadow in a really long time. I'm gonna use that. And then I remembered why I haven't done the blue eyeshadow in a really long time. It's because it's too close to my green screen. So there's just a little, I did tweak the green screen settings a little bit so it wasn't as bad, but yeah, this section right here, for whatever reason, just kind of keeps chroma keying out, so you're just seeing through my eyelid at that point. Whatever, once I'm tiny on the game screen, you won't be able to tell. It's okay. Thank you, Liz, for dropping that in Discord. I appreciate it. So there's supposedly a parking deck near my courthouse. I've never actually been able to find it. Yeah, that's my favorite part is, like, we got the email being like, hey, like, here's all the information you need for your jury duty selection. Here's things to note. There is no dedicated courthouse parking. You can either park at the meters, which have a 3-hour limit, or you have to go to one of the other garages. We cannot and will not reimburse for any parking costs. We highly recommend you take public transportation. We don't have public transportation! What the fuck? Anyway, so they say that. And they go, there is a good chance you will be there over lunch. Make sure you bring a lunch, that you bring food, because there is no on-site cafeteria, and the nearest, and the nearest food options are several blocks away. What I ended up finding out on Monday is that the closest food thing is a Subway 3 blocks away. And I'm just like, so there's no food, there's no parking. And also they're like, hey, make sure you bring your lunch. And then you get there and they go, no food's allowed in the courtroom. What the? Anyways, I totally brought it in the courtroom and just kept it in my backpack. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, and that's all not even the actual shenanigans of jury duty. So, I mean, here's the thing, Metric, is they constantly just, the state does not want to do that. Ted Cruz wants to do that. And that's been a thing that they've yelled about since long before I ever moved here. The end. That my thought is loud people with no sense for how to do it, much less what it would entail. They're not going to Brexit Texas. They can't. They're not smart enough to even figure out the paperwork to do that. Oh, Carl. You're having a day. Yeah, if we could just yeet him into literally the ocean, space, the sun, I don't care. Just, like, away. If we could send, what's his fuck with him? Abbott. If you could just send them both. The other senator also sucks, but he's much quieter about his suckage, so, like, if he left, I wouldn't be upset. But I don't actively want to yeet him into oblivion, so for the moment, he can be spared by wrath. Texit. Oh, fuck, I hate it. Oh, I hate it, but, like, it's very good. God. Stream notification never went. What? First of all, okay, I did tweet. Is my bot broken again? No, it's in the Discord. Okay. You just mean on Twitch. Anyways, everything's great. We're gonna get into the game? We're getting into the game. Oh, I just realized that there were other things I, like, wrote down on my phone list for conversations for the night. That I didn't write down. Oh, no, I did actually write most of those down. That's okay. Cool. All right, we got it. We nailed it. We're okay. Let's get to the thing. James so kindly reminded me. He gave me instructions. I kind of forgot that one of the last things we did was find out my teacher works for that maid service. And I was very upset about that piece of information. All right, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, so I need to go find her and talk to her. Yeah, because we all want to acknowledge the awkward situation we all just experienced last night. That's great. Did all the buttons work right? Yeah, they did. Broke the big printer at work. Did you just look at it wrong? Did you breathe on it? I feel like that's what breaks printers. I saw there was like somebody did another one of those darn millennials or whatever kind of articles. It was like, oh, young people are like baffled by antiquated technology like printers. And I'm like, everyone has always been baffled by printers. They never work. So much of my first job out of college was just showing my 60-year-old coworker how the printer works on a weekly basis. Sometimes multiple times in a week. This is the same coworker who thought that the same size something was on your screen is the size it printed out. And she panicked because she had managed to zoom out. Like, excessively. So, like, the single page she was trying to print was, like, this big on her screen. And she's freaking out about the fact that she needs to print it and she won't be able to read it. I was like, Elena, I guarantee you if you hit print, you will be able to read it. That's just the view on your computer. And likewise, she would, like, super zoom into things to, like, make sure it was a large enough font for her to read when it got printed out. She didn't understand. Like, and if it came out and she wished it was bigger, she would just zoom in more and then get really frustrated it was coming out the same. So anyways, that was the first 3 years of my post-college life. I was constantly being like, no, Elena, no. It's not how that works. To pull out from the wall and it was stuck in the wall. Wait, the printer was stuck in the wall? Is it supposed to be stuck in the wall? I have many questions about your fucking printer now. And she said, I've been here the whole time. Hello. Also, formerly Ashley. You said those words, so I had to do that. Hey, anybody, if you don't watch Game Changer on Dropout, you should. And you fucking need to watch the season finale from this week. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And it's in air quotes because Sam also turned around and said something weird. It might not be. Like Elena to become a regular thing now. Oh my god. Elena, I loved Elena. But she also just like didn't understand technology. She was from Russia. She was married to a Russian physicist who came to the US many decades ago to work at this lab. And so she had when she started there, she did some, like, data entry, but, like, on, like, typewriters. Like, that is how long she has been at the lab. Was, like, keeping records on typewriters. So, on the one hand, that's how long she's been there. On the other hand, she's literally been there through the adoption and integration of all this technology, and she still had no idea how any of it worked. So, yeah, the printer was, like, the big thing. God, what else? There was the zooming. There was, oh, fuck, what was it? Oh, the first time she saw me do a double-sided copy, blew her mind. Blew her mind. She didn't know you could do that. Absolutely. I was like, yeah, that's what this button means. She'd only ever tried to use the button when she just had a single-sided thing. And she didn't understand how to do that. This is Bisou. Okay. I wouldn't have not been too incorrect, so I'll take that. I meant floor, not wall. Okay, those are two different things. I mean, but what is a floor if not just a wall on the bottom? So... okay, forum request. Remember that request from the forum? Still have not resolved it. Simply waiting around is a waste of time. Why not take care of it in mementos today? No. No, no. No, decide later. Be honest, am I actually getting stronger? I mean, I did just do the clips for the stream where everyone died repeatedly, so I can't say yes to that. I've been working really hard, but I haven't noticed any change. Anyway, would you mind hearing me out again? Are you free today? No, I gotta go talk to my fucking teacher. I can't, I'm sorry. Alright, me and my cat backpack gotta go out here. I hate what you just said. Here's fun thing. I don't remember what I just said. I don't remember what I said. Oh, the floor wall thing, yeah. Yeah, a floor is just a wall on the ground. Alright. Is the stalker... He told me where I could find her. Was it... Okay, it's around this corner. Hey! Oh, what is... Oh, is this the teacher we fucking hate? Who's giving her shit? I'm not... Let's... What is happening here? First of all, this is a very unflattering look. Second of all... Those boots. Okay, anyways. Hey, let's get in on this. My current boss is always surprised by what I can make the printer do. He learned I can make it staple. Yeah! Paper color paper to use without manually taking out all the other white paper. Oh, no. Oh my god, that was the other... Elena, so we had like a big printer that had multiple trays, and she did not realize there were multiple trays. And she had somehow set her computer so that way it would... Like, I don't know how it did this. Instead of just always being like, oh, like I print from tray 2, unless tray 2's empty, and then I can move to this other one. If tray 2 was empty, wouldn't print from it. But here's the thing, is she didn't know where tray 2 was. She only knew how to put paper into tray 1, and so she was very confused. And what I believe to be swearing in Russian, that the printer had paper in it, and it still wasn't printing out. So that's how she found out there were actually 3 trays in that printer, is because I showed her. And then I fixed that default setting or thing. Oh, she's also the coworker who thought she deleted the internet from the entire lab. She was cleaning her desktop, and she deleted the Internet Explorer icon. She starts panicking that she deleted the internet. And nothing I could say... I had to show her that I could still get onto the internet on my computer. So then she thought it was just a her problem. I was like, the internet's not gone. That was just the shortcut. And I was like, here. And I, like, pulled it up from her, like, actual, like, start menu. And I put it back on her desktop. See, like, it's back. And so I open it. It's Internet Explorer. And she goes, but where's the internet? And I was like, well, that's the window right there. She's like, no, that's wrong. So it took a lot of back and forth to figure out what she had done. Is she had managed to, on her desktop wasn't just Internet Explorer. She had the, her bookmark for her portal login was there. She did not know how to log into the database portal without that. I was like, yeah, you just go to, like, you just go to the address bar and type this in and I'll take you to the portal page. And I was like, and I can reset that bookmark. And it was like, the words I said meant nothing. She did not know what an address bar was. And I'm like, she's been here long enough. But I was like, how have you gotten to this point without knowing any of this? She thought she deleted all of her emails. She deleted all of her internet. She was like, the internet's not here. This isn't the internet. I'm like, Anyways, Elena was a fucking trip. Oh, okay. She's just gonna tell me to go home. We're not finished talking yet. Yeah, you are finished talking. A series of scandals. It's not any of your fucking business. Throw the cat onto the bitchy one's face. Those students just phase through those teachers. Yeah, the school's closing soon, but also you just yelled at her for wanting to leave, so goddamn. Yeah, I need something. We gotta talk about that exam score. No, I'm good. I have a question for her. Yeah, she's my fucking teacher. I can have a question for her.
What?
Yes, I have another question. I think I just heard a really dainty sneeze in the background. Yes, my questions are complicated. Take time at night to help. Oh, no, this teacher's gonna come up with a different... You should not have phrased it like that. No? See, there we go. This is the problem. No. Oh, you're gonna get sketchy about this. No, that's not a real apology. I don't think she did, though. Be careful. This is gonna get worse before it gets better. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I'll come. Oh, yeah, let's go. Oh, we're gonna hide in the corner. Yes, this is not suspicious at all. Can't talk about this at school, so we'll do it right here. Oh, she just gave me her address and phone number. I mean, I do have the phone number for your night job. We know that. Oh. Is there's an extra fee if I request a particular person? This is gonna get weirder and weirder. Oh, God. Am I smart enough to not have it show up in my call history? I don't think so. Am I smart enough to not talk about our secret illegal activities on text messages? Multiple ones.
Hey!
I did what? Got my teacher's phone number? This is awful. No call history means a public telephone. Oh, this is No, we can't call from the blog's yellow phone. They can still... No, we gotta go outside to a payphone. No! No! No, that's worse. No, I can't invite her to my attic room above the cafe. No! This is terrible.
Well...
No! Oh my God. How is this continually getting worse? Okay. Well... James said to work on my social links or my knowledge while he was gone. We know An wants to hang out. So we'll do that one. Oh God. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, we'll do that. Yep, okay. Go see her. Go see her. What are we doing? Oh, good. It's just gonna warp me there. Thank you, Jesus.
Hey!
Look at those ducks over there. It must be a family. Oh, ducks. Gosh. Anyways, how are y'all doing? I'm trying to see if there's anything super fun. Oh, like heads up, there will be D&D talk tonight because we didn't get to it last week because we spent an hour talking about neutrinos, which I fucking loved. But we're gonna talk about druids in the one D&D playtest. That has been on my list with big old stars next to it, just like heads up. I don't think I've got anything else I can talk about before James gets here, though. How are you all doing? How's the first part of your week going? We're halfway through. Happy Wednesday.
Hey!
That's a hell of a segue. We're just like, ducks must be a family. Anyways, Tokyo is so strange. We're not like, where did this come from? And there's, yep, okay. You brought it back. I'll give you credit for that. I'm not sure I follow. Why is my internet different? What does that mean? What do you mean, Carl? It's been quiet, but good. Quiet is definitely good. The snow's starting to melt. Oh my God. Yeah, I guess that would be a thing. It was, I'm wearing shorts right now, too, for the record. It was, I think today's high was pretty low. It was only 78, but it was kind of muggy. So, gotta raise this year. All right. Congratulations. Surprise raises are pretty good.
Hey.
Why are our bags, like, fucking glowing? What is this? Walks real fast like they're angry. Is that why I walk fast? I'm just perpetually angry? Is that what's happening? That would explain a lot, that's for sure. Does it, Carl? What's happening? Did you accidentally message us and you meant to message someone else? Because if you had to message someone on your crew saying, what did you do? I need to know more things. Walking fast is a gay thing? Alright, well, I'm learning things about myself right now, I guess. Your paint. Oh, you paint? Yeah, that was kind of mean of her. But, like, hold on. Alana's in your Russian code. Oh! There we go. Oh, it's E. E-L-E-N-A. That's Elena. I was like, who's Alana? She just deleted her desktop icon but thought that was the internet. It was very funny. Alright, she wants to talk to me about something. Remember what I told you last time we came here? That you wanted a sandwich? I feel like I remember there being something about a sandwich. I do not remember talking about this anime, but okay. Yeah, tell me. Oh, I got multiple music notes! That was a lot! Oh no. It's called a callback. Yeah, but it only works if it makes sense, and by wildly misspelling words, I was like, I got nothing. I spent too much time trying to figure out what the fuck you were talking about. Oh. You're gonna try to learn from the villains? Wait, is that what she just said? I mean, like, her logic is pretty sound, but I do worry about that. It didn't make sense, I'm sorry. There's multiple ways to spell a name. No! Now it's just a different name. Alana is a different name than Elena. How exactly? You're just gonna watch a bunch of anime? Oh my god, that was my music note answer. Okay, perfect. Are you gonna invite me for anime watching dates?
Yes!
Oh, okay. I didn't see the conversation going this way, but alright. That's rude. That's also rude. That's all Guys, clock it. I hate all of these choices. I hate all of them. These are all terrible, but like for different reasons. I guess we went to school with all three. Oh, do so now. Comical, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Only 40. Yeah, it did take a little while. I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, I forgot to get the bet going. My bad. Y'all can always remind me of that stuff. This sounds like good luck with that, but like, I don't... Just being like, no, you haven't learned shit sounds rude, and just being like, your idea sucks. So like, no, I'm gonna do that. Okay, good. That was the right answer. Sure. All right, got it. Alana can be pronounced Elaine. No. Just... If you can't just... Words and letters mean things. Just because I went to school with somebody whose last name was Granger, okay? It was Granger. It was Granger. It was Granger for years. And then we started 7th grade, and we're doing roll on, like, first day of school. I've known this person for years. For the record, she sucked. She was one of my bullies. But at some point she's like, the teacher calls her name, and she's like, no, it's not Granger, it's Granger. That's not it! Letters would need to be in a different order for it to be that. You can't just look at a word and be like, I've decided I'm gonna pronounce it like this despite it not doing that. You can't just say that. Alana is different than Elena, and this person who spelled their Eliza name as Alyssa, that's also just bullshit. I can't look at the word. I can't say this word, it's spelled D-O-G. I'm pronouncing it as cat. That's the same concept. I just spit everywhere. I'm irrationally upset about this. Anyway. Oh my god, yeah! Sassy's fucking thing. That name? How do y'all... Some of you know the answer, because I feel like that was in the mod chat. Some people know the answer. If you were in the mod chat where we learned this, don't give the answer. Everybody else, that's a name. That is a name. What Sassy has put in the chat, that is a name. How do you think it's said? I need to know. No. It's like he's going, no. No, absolutely not. She sent us this, and I was like, I give up, I don't know. And then she sent me the actual... She sent me the actual thing of how you're supposed to say that as a name. And I immediately just started, like, in text form yelling, no, shut up, you're lying. I had to call them AC/DC unless they objected, see? I was expecting something along those lines. Oh god, Ashley, we're not starting that one. I'm not even gonna say that word out loud because I will fucking stab people over that one. No, we're gonna do it. Hey guys, it's GIF. If you say GIF, there's not a moving peanut butter on my screen. No, it's GIF. That's how it goes. It's GIF. Like gift. It is the word gift. Take the T off. GIF. Got it. Done. Nailed it. Anyway. Can I say what my guess was? Sure, Liz. I didn't even have a guess. I gave up. How do you say giraffe? I mean, here's the thing. You say giraffe with the zh, but, that only has the GI the same. Like, you have the word, chop off one letter, it's the same. If you can find me a GIF word that's GIF, that's not French or some bullshit, I will listen to that. It's fucking GIF, though. Ashley, shut up. Audacity. Oh, yes. Yeah. What's funny is, Flash looks the closest. It was Odyssey. Odyssey, like a story. So, like, A dash, like the A is in, like, the short form of it, like, AH. And then DC. Odyssey. There was a name I saw at one point that was, the letters, it was L, A, and then a hyphen, and then an A. Much like it was A hyphen DC. So... How do you... Oh, Banana, I see what you fucking did there. Polish/Polish is a great one. My favorite thing is... Oh, I'm gonna type this. We're gonna lose audio for a second. So yeah, so there was this. Oh, see, Banana just did the one. Yeah, there's unionized or unionized. It's like, are you talking to a plumber or a chemist? Oh, yeah. Shut up, you're lying. I wish. I so wish I was lying. Anyways, L-A apostrophe A was Ladasha. The first one that broke me. Odyssey's very bad. Sassy's Emily also fucking kills me. Anyways, I'm like, on the one hand, I get people being like, I want my kid to have a unique name. And on the other hand, they have to live with that uniqueness. And I also like the idea of, like, a lot of the names that are floating around right now, where, like, the names made sense for kids, children, teenagers, young adults. I can't imagine an 84-year-old named Brayden. That's a pretentious child. That's not an elderly man. Aximilian, thank you for the follow. Oh. English is anarchy. I was like, okay, Aximilian made me think. I'm just thinking of other names that, like, I can't imagine an old person with. I'm thinking, like, Axel. Just a 90-year-old man in a retirement home named Axel. Like, I can't. That breaks my brain. Can't do it. I'm trying to think of, like, a good equivalent for female names. Why would on earth would someone name their child Odyssey? Yeah. Maybe they were just very inspired by Epic the Musical. I can't wait for the next arc of that. Fuck. The rules break the rules and demand you follow that rule until another rule says, yeah, fuck that guy. Yep, that's it. I always love, like, I before E except after C. Isn't that weird? It's my favorite thing. Here is this rule, with the exception, followed immediately by a word that does not follow it. You're welcome. I have a niece named Michael. Like, I can't with that. Axl Rose is 61 years old. Like, I don't believe you. She just doesn't. I don't like it. It's a shit. Meconium. I feel like that's like a species of mushroom or like a subspecies or a genus or something. What's happening? Thanks. You're welcome. What were we talking about? I don't even know anymore. Oh, the sexy technique. Chance to grab the enemy's attention and cancel their action. Like, that's cool. But, this baby's first poop. Is that really? No. Hold on. Because if you said that's a shit name, that's very funny. That is really. Why would someone do that? I have an email. Do I? Okay, no. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I am saying I'm gonna Google it anyways. Because I have to. Okay. It's like I needed to see it for myself. Why would you do this?
All right.
Thank you, Axe. Liked the word when the doctor said it. That's not... Look, there's a lot of words that I just like the sound of. That doesn't mean I can just apply it to whatever I want. Just like how you can't take a word and be like, I've decided it's pronounced completely differently using different letters and sounds. You can't do that. I hate this screen. I hate it. I wonder how many sit-ups I'll have to do. Oh, God. Are we gonna have to training montage with An? No, don't take Ryuji's advice for a gym. You're gonna hate that gym. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Come on, let's head home.
I'm not gonna like a lot of things. It's fine. Where's James? Where's James when you need him? No! We just hung out! Although at least it's dark. It does look like it's been a few hours. So, like, this is at least not as ridiculous. But, like, Jesus. How does everyone know exactly when I'm approaching my front door? It's never, like, a little bit farther back there. It's never when I'm just inside. It's never when I'm in my... It's like, we just hung out. I'm gonna get you in this 2-foot space right here. Yeah, they put there's an air tag sewed into my fucking bag. God. Never mind. We're just gonna let that go. We're just gonna let it go. I carry Morgana in my bag. I got notes from it. No, I mean, I didn't. Oh my God. Yeah, On. You know what? Yep. Oh. Yeah, go live with On instead, please. was like, look, we can microchip, like, cats and dogs and stuff. Can we do that to children? I feel like that's probably against some rules and whatever, but I feel like not a terrible idea. For, like, small children, I absolutely would, like, sew an AirTag, like, pocket into, like, the back of, like, all of their pants or whatever, so that way I could just tuck it in there constantly. At some point, I would forget and run it through the wash and be upset. But that feels like, oh, I'm sure it is, but I feel like it shouldn't be. Like, oh, lost child, beep. Oh, I know who your mom is now. I feel like that would save some trouble. Oh, Wand of Gamelon.
Ah, you're back.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah, she did. I'm not gonna call from what will ultimately be a traceable number in front of Sojiro to fucking... I know I just put the emphasis on his name in a really weird place, but I forgot his name, and it was like remembering it as I said it, so my apologies. I can't do that while he's listening to me! And like, if he doesn't leave and she shows up while he's still here, that's bad. If she shows up to a fucking closed and locked cafe and I appear and open it and it's all dark, all of this is bad. All of this is bad. I can't. Is there a fucking... Is that a crossword puzzle? I didn't know I'm supposed to do crossword puzzles. Or is this just a regular ass magazine? Will it look like a crossword puzzle? I don't know. I've missed it. Yes, that is crossword. Okay, do that. When you solve a crossword puzzle, oh, do I actually have to do it? Oh no. Your knowledge will increase. Try to find the answer that matches both the hint and the number of spaces. Oh shit. I thought it was gonna be like when I study like normal and it's just like, oh, you did the thing. Good job. Oh fuck.
hey.
Okay. Yeah, play a little. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. How school years are divided. Can I... Oh, wait. Oh, God. Wait, what happened? Can I not... Okay, so yeah. So that's the final result. A student's test. Well, this would be an exam. Do I have to select them all individually? I mean, I could have... Yeah. Student's test. Impart knowledge. Teach? Oh, each letter only gets used once. Oh, God. Okay. Three, 4, 5. Grade? And then, okay. How school years are divided. This. Oh. Okay, am I mechanically doing something incorrect? I feel like that's a reasonable question. Am I mechanically doing something wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Yeah, okay, these are all fine. You're doing... Okay, I'm mechanically doing it right. Okay. Ah. Yeah, I feel like... I mean... Yeah, that says... There. Like, I feel like... Is this question what I'm supposed to be doing right here? Because I feel like it should show up in a cross thing there. This is me actually asking, is this the question for this? Because that doesn't feel like it's following the format of how the rest of these show up. Great vegetables, that's great. Okay, like... That is the acrostic. Okay, let me get fucking James. Hold on. Hi, James.
Hello! Happy Women's Day, everyone.
Happy Women's Day. How are you?
I am vertical. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm doing okay. I'm working on my first crossword.
Yay, look at you.
I didn't realize it was gonna make me actually, like, do the crossword, so I'm a little, worried that I feel like I maybe did something incorrectly, but we're getting there.
Yeah, you'll get there. But it's a puzzle within a game.
Yeah. But what's up? How's your week? But you said you've been vertical. Are you tired? Are you sick? Are you just over everything? Like,
No, it's just been it has been a bit of a long week at work. Nothing too nothing like an extremely taxing project. It's kind of the death by 1,000 cuts where, some weeks I'm just in meetings all week from, 8 to 5, and it's just a lot of talking. And unfortunately, it's those meetings where I'm not like the silent listener, like I have to participate. And,
Robot James! Womp womp.
Women's Day.
That came in. That worked.
Yeah. No, it's those meetings where, like, if I'm in multiple 30-minute meetings, I am exhausted by the end of the day, but the people who are running those individual meetings, that's like, they may only have 1 or 2 that day, so they have, like, full of energy. They're ready to go. And I'm like, dude, this is my 8th 30-minute meeting today. Please, like, just let's turn the energy down just a bit. But other than that, it's been a good week. I certainly can't complain. And you got your word.
Yeah, I did.
Yay.
Well, was that the only one that actually mattered?
Yeah, that was the only one that mattered.
Then what are the other ones there for, other than just to help you fill in letters, I guess?
Help you fill in letters,
All right,
exactly.
Great. Perfect.
And look, you get some trivia.
Yay.
Most of your trivia does come from LeBlanc, whether it's learning about coffee beans, like, what was it, semi-hard beans?
Yeah.
Or,
oh, yeah, what was it? I don't think it was semi-hard. It was something... Oh, fuck. I'm gonna remember. In, like, an hour?
Yeah.
But I will remember.
Maybe if some enterprising member in chat wants to go back to a VOD, you can look it up. Ashley, I'm all in favor of 5-minute breaks between meetings. So if I'm running the meeting, I deliberately try to end it 5 minutes early to give people that break. Again,
Not
other
everyone
people
does that.
aren't. Not everyone does that because, usually an individual might only have 2 meetings that day. So, like, I'm going to use all 30 minutes or all 60 minutes of this meeting because that's my only meeting today. Whereas everyone else on the call is like, this is my 8th meeting today.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right. So to catch you up, I did find the teacher. I have her phone number. On principle, I can't wait for you to potentially go back and hear me yelling about the fact that I will never call her from this phone for so many fucking reasons. So I don't know how I'm going to progress that ever.
Okay.
But I did talk to her, and I got that number. I went and hung out with On at the park. That one, that bond went up, and now I have a sexy technique, which I'm uncomfortable with. And then we crossworded. So
Excellent.
I can go out and do other things, or if I should just hit his thing because I'm right here, I can do that. I don't know if you have a recommendation.
I do have a recommendation, but it's going to be a decision tree. It's going to be based if you can rank Sojiro up tonight. So like if it says I don't think it's going to level up, or like it's not going to advance tonight, we'll skip it.
Okay, we're gonna skip it.
Okay, I want you to go to Shibuya Station.
I can fast something. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Go there, and we go there. Okay, great.
Shibuya. Go to Station Square.
Okay.
And I want you to make a right. And make another right. I want you to talk to the talk to the politician.
This guy.
Yeah.
Please consider what I have to say.
Oh boy.
Anyway, well, how are you doing, Jen?
I'm doing okay. I think I've recovered from my adventures of Monday. So yeah, you want to just talk about jury duty?
I'm happy to deliberate the merits of jury duty,
Oh my God.
Your Honor.
Oh boy. Okay. So, I've been called to jury duty before. What I was called for before was a misdemeanor. And the way that...
What did you do?
Very funny. The way that worked was they called like 20... There was like only 25 of us. And we all got shuffled into the courtroom. And they just had like whatever order we came in, that we just sat down in that order. And so the first like 12 of us were like in the jury box. And the 13th person was like at a chair that was like in the corner of it. And then everybody else was just like in like the, I almost called them the pews, just like the other general seating of the courtroom, but they do feel very pew-like the way they were constructed. And they're like, cool.
Yeah, that's a tangent for after the story.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So it's like, cool, this is the jury until we cut people. And for the misdemeanor one, they cut people in real time. So like the defense and the prosecution like took turns like asking the jury questions, and if you needed to answer it, you'd put your hand up and they might ask follow-ups or whatever. And both sides had like a certain number of strikes they could give. And so you just got cut in real time. So like I started in the jury box, and on question number 2, they already didn't like my first 2 answers, so the defense like turned to the judge and was like, motion to dismiss, and it was like, granted. So that was getting rid of me was using one of their strikes, and I was out immediately. So I show up on Monday for jury duty here, and I fought, and there's 75 of us in the waiting area, and I'm like, that's a lot of people. We all get randomly assigned a number, and then we have to file into the courtroom in order. That we need to be seated in order, and then we're also all given like little paddles with our numbers on it so we can participate in what feels like the worst auction you've ever been to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how everything was supposed to work, and you can deal with how awful all that was, and then we're going to talk about how it actually worked. So, 75 of us, we all get assigned a number. We get shuffled in order. And then the way it's described to us by the judge is we get like the whole spiel immediately of like, hey, like, so thank you for being willing to come serve on a jury. Like anybody had a choice. And she gives us the rundown of like the way this process works is both the prosecution and the defense each will get an hour, one at a time, to ask questions of the jury. And they will ask a question, and if you feel like whatever they've said like applies, you will put up your little panel with your number on it. They might ask you some follow-up questions. They might just write down the number, and it's them taking notes on how people have answered things, so they can kind of decide who they feel like would be a good and unbiased juror.
So on paper, that sounds very time efficient on paper.
Yes, on paper, very time efficient. So it's like the prosecution will get to go first. We will take a break, and then we will come back, and the defense will get to go, and then we would all get shuffled out of the room. And this part works the same, where it's the first 13 people are the jury. So that's why we're in number order. So they're like, they're probably going to focus their follow-up questions on the first 2 rows, because those are the people most likely to end up on the jury. But what's going to happen is after they shuffle everybody out, we're just going to go down the list. And the first 13 people we get, that neither side has cut, that's the jury. So if we get up to number 36 and that's our 13th person, there is no further consideration of any numbers beyond that. We have our 13, that's the jury. So the idea, and like Axe already kind of brought it up, is like, yes, they should be picking unbiased jurors, but really what they're making marks of is like, cool, these people will clearly be unfavorable to us, so I'm going to mark these people. And then the defense gets to go, and they get to do the same thing. And between the two of you, there has to be 13 uncut people. So on the one hand, you want to make sure you cut the people you want to cut, but on the other hand, you don't want to get to the end and be like, cool, we have cut enough people that we have to take everyone that's left. So if they've like cut enough people and they're like, cool, we only have 4 jurors, we need to have 13, and we're on number, out of the 75, like we're on number, whatever that would be, 66, we have to take numbers 67 through 75. You have to. So it's like, it is kind of a game where you need to be like, I want to make sure I get rid of these people. You don't want to get rid of too many where you're forced to take the back end and whatever's left. It is very much reverse dodgeball picking. Yes, you are completely correct, Pathos. So it's like, we'll do that. They're going to go through, and as soon as they get to 13 numbers that neither side cut, that's the jury. That's the way it's supposed to go. Ashley brings up a great question. I was number 62. So they were going to have to cut 49 people from somewhere in front of me for me to be in danger. Which on the one hand, sounds ridiculous. And on the other hand, there's a reason they asked for 75. They wouldn't keep asking for 75 if they didn't get up to that. So it's like, I'm probably safe, but like, also, who knows? So we were all told to report at 9 a.m. for the case to start at 9:15. I feel like things are about to happen in the game I need to actually pay attention to. I am not interested in politics. I'm just passing by.
I see.
Just, everything's great. Okay, I feel like that was the wrong answer.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that again.
God fucking... Yeah, I'm listening. Sure, I'm interested. All right, yeah, I'm a student. It's great. Oh, no. I don't want to work for a politician. Oh, I gotta go eat a butt ton of soup to impress this guy, don't I?
Yeah. Wow, your proficiency at eating so much in your gut. In your
Dude,
guts.
if I could get a job just by how good I eat soup, hell yes. So, don't I already work part-time there?
You do.
Okay. So now I'm supposed to just go there?
Yep.
I don't remember where it is.
It's on Central Street.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna navigate this. So I'm gonna wait till my map pops up. Okay. So yeah, so I'm number 62, and yeah, Beefle Shop.
Oh.
So we report at 9 to start at 9:15. The courthouse is a fucking disaster. The line for the elevator is insane, and I'm like, I would take the stairs, but I literally cannot figure out where they are. But I was like, this line's not moving after like a couple of minutes. And finally somebody says like, hey, if you want to use the stairs, and they give directions. It's like, thank you, Jesus. So a number of us take the stairs. This is when I find out over the next 10 minutes the elevator's actually broken. Everyone was just waiting for an elevator that was never going to come, which was fucking great.
That's a really good sign for potential jurors. No,
right?
No, it's coming. I believe it.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit extra time.
What did you say?
And it hits 9:30, and everyone's still just waiting. We've all been given our little numbers. And they're like, okay, we're going to start bringing people into the room. So the bailiff starts calling out numbers, just like 5 at a time, because apparently people are bad at putting themselves in numerical order. So he has to like call up only 5 and be like, which number are you? Okay, you're 1, you go here. Which one of you is 2? You're 3? No, you gotta let 2 in front of you.
As someone who flies Southwest almost exclusively, I can confirm people are bad at lining themselves up numerically.
It's very bad. Oh, am I gonna have to remember things?
Yep.
Oh, shit, I didn't have to last time. I thought I was gonna have to last time, and then it didn't, and I was like, oh, I'm off the hook now. Okay. So I'm gonna write notes.
Now, you and your Swedish flag are gonna have to remember this.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I looked up. So that's not how you spell the word bowl. I put an N in it. What?
You going bowling?
I wrote BWNL.
Bowling.
What happened?
Bowling. Well, I can see why you didn't. I can see why you didn't make the cut to be on the jury.
Right? So we're gonna take a break from the jury thing so I can memorize the fuck's happening here. He wants a large beef. I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot happening. You know, like, it's a beef bowl place, so it's probably just what size do you want? And then you want... Oh, never mind. You said something different. Fuck.
It's like the game knew.
And then... medium, barbecue...
Hey, can I have a salad? I'd like a salad. Here at your beef shop.
It's not that strong, thank goodness, Flash. What did the first person order? It was a medium beef bowl. Second person was a large beef bowl. Yours was that one. How has nobody noticed there's a fucking cat in here? That feels very unsanitary for food prep.
Or maybe they just think that the ingredients are very fresh.
There we go. No, I didn't have a difficult time. I fucking nailed it. What are you talking about?
I took notes, like good waiters can.
Yeah.
I know there's an Ellen stand-up bit where she's like, "I'm not impressed when waiters try to remember your order. Like, please write it down. That will make me feel so much better. I will tip you more if you write this down, please."
Well then, I'll see you again.
Hey.
I mean, cat cafes are a thing, but this is not a cat cafe. There's a lot of just open liquids here. Dude, I need to go to Japan. James, I fucking saw there's not just cat cafes. I've seen cat cafes. I've seen owl cafes. I saw a video. There's otter cafes. Just otters. Just actual otters. Just fucking chilling. There's one that just draped itself around a dude's neck like a fucking scarf while he was drinking a matcha. Oh my god, it made me so happy. I need to go do this.
Okay, so here's the deal. Japan is on Jamf and I's bucket list to get to.
Oh yeah, us too.
So I think you and Jeff will do like we'll do a group trip to Japan.
God. I don't know. Here's the thing. On the one hand, I love this. On the other hand, I know I am not fun to travel with because my anxiety goes through the fucking roof, and I don't know if I'm going to subject the two of you to that.
I like how you said just the two of us, like you're not including Jeff in that. Like
Jeff knows what he signed up for and has experienced this repeatedly already.
Okay.
So
I don't want to say Jamf would probably say the same thing because I'll let her log on and say it for herself. But yeah, I think you're gonna be okay.
Wait, Carl, there's an otter cafe where you are? Like, on the one hand, I do still definitely want to go to Japan, but if I don't have to go all the way to Japan to experience the Otter Cafe, and I can do this sooner rather than later, then, like, that's good info to have. Talk about the same kind of otters? Okay, well, Banana, what else? I'm afraid to ask now. What does that mean?
Here's the thing.
Carl, you can't joke about otters! I take otters very seriously! The human otter? What's a human otter? I don't want to know. Anyways, James, what are you going to say?
The thing I like about the four of us going to like somewhere like Tokyo is just that how wildly different our photos are going to be. Like you'll be at an otter cafe. I'm sure Jeff will find like a Lego store, Gundam store, or something like that. Jamf will find some food places, and then it will just be pictures of me at all of the Persona 5 locations. Like, look, I'm at Shibuya. Look, I'm at. Hey, look, I'm at LeBlanc.
Actually, I seriously have no idea what the fuck's happening, and I absolutely know that because Carl brought it up that I don't want to know. I know this. God. I don't know what just happened, and I hate it.
Man.
Anyways, jury duty.
Jury duty.
So they get through the first 10 people, and then they send those 10 people back out of the courtroom. And the bailiff comes out and says, hey guys, really sorry. Kind of a weird Monday. We're running a little bit late. We're not going to start until 10:30. Now, I need to point out, this is the first case of the day. There's
Sounds
no
like the
reason
judge
to...
was hungover.
Yeah, there's no reason to already be running over an hour late. So 10:30 rolls around, and at 10:30, they start loading us into the room. So it's 11 o'clock before we're all actually in there. So the judge does their spiel about the process of what's going to happen, makes it very clear that, like, hey, like, you need to be honest about stuff. Like, they're going to say, like, the things they're going to be able to describe, they're not going to be able to give you any specifics of the case. It is literally all they're allowed to do at this stage is talk strictly about the law that applies to this case. They cannot talk about any of the details of anything. So it will be the generalities of how law and the jury system work related to the charges that were issued. That is it.
How do you feel about aggravated assault with a knife?
Oh, it's bad that you said that.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I had a day. So the judge is like, that's all the information they can give you. It's important that you're honest about it. Like, they will explain that, like, this is what's required of you by the law. And so, like, if you feel like you can't do that, it's important that you are honest about that. There are no wrong answers here. Like, you need to be honest about it so that way, like, not every person is a good juror for every case. And that's why we have the selection process. So she tells she's like, okay, so here's what the case is. And it's like this dude's name versus the state of Texas. And we're like, okay, that's a thing. It's 3rd-degree felony family violence assault.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm like, that's a lot of words, and all of them are bad. And as soon as she says felony, that's when it dawns on the rest of us. That's why this jury pool is so big. Okay, cool. So I didn't realize that family violence is its own separate category of assault. I learned a lot about things I didn't want to know, is pretty much the moral of the story for the day. So we've got literally the DA's office against this guy. And I think we had to have had an assistant DA. Because if this is the actual DA, I'm worried on a number of levels, and we'll get to why. So they turn it over to the DA's office, and that counsel stands up and is going to start going through her whole thing. And there's large TVs around the courtroom that are very clearly for being able to, like, if there's evidence to show or anything on reports and whatever, they can put it on the screen so everyone in the room can see it very easily. And so on this screen, this is where we figure out, like, oh, both sides effectively have a PowerPoint, so that way they can, like, get through all of the points they need to with all of us and show us examples of things and whatever. In the emails that we had gotten about jury duty, one of the things it said was, like, make sure you dress appropriately for being in a courtroom. You should dress in a way that is, like, that respects, like, how serious and solemn court proceedings are. And they're like, business casual is acceptable. And that includes, like, if you have, like, nice unripped jeans, those are allowed, things like that. So first of all, I need to point out 3 people straight up didn't show up. I can't imagine having the balls to just not show up to jury duty. So 3 people are missing. Of the 3 that are, or of the 72 that are there, 3 of them are wearing just straight up sweatpants.
Are they nice sweatpants?
No, very much no. There's 4 people actively coughing up their lungs, and I'm one of 3 people that are masked. So that's just to lay all that out there too. No one's did say juicy on the ass. Nobody's sweatpants did have butt words on them. So, and they were unripped sweatpants. They were all intact. So there you go.
There you go. It is their nicer sweatpants.
There we go. Imprisoned. Thank you so much for that follow.
That's ironic.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, ugh, is that telling me how the court case is going? So I do want to Google it in like a week and see what happened. But anyways, so it's been like court is serious and like very solemn and be respectful. Okay, so the DA gets up and starts doing their PowerPoint thing. Their second slide has an Office meme on it. It's a screenshot from The Office.
Awesome.
And I'm like, okay, weird tone, especially given the charge and all of the warnings we were given about taking this seriously, but okay, sure.
Now, is this the DA or the assistant DA?
I think, and I have to believe it's an assistant. I have to believe that, and like, just go with me. Just go with me here.
Okay. I am going with you.
So, yeah, Pathos, I'm with you. Because when it was like business casual, jeans are okay, my brain shut down a little bit. And I was like, I mean, sure, but like, what? Anyways. So it starts with an Office meme, and we're like, uh-oh. So, this is not necessarily in order, and I will probably skip some stuff and then remember and have to go back to it. So over the course of her thing, it initially starts with like, hey, so like, this is what the charge is a family violence assault. It is a 3rd-degree felony. And she's like, what makes it a 3rd-degree felony as opposed to a misdemeanor or something like that? And for it to be a family violence assault, there has to be, quote, bodily injury. And she's like, let's talk about what bodily injury is and what counts for that. And instead of just being like, this is what counts, she does that thing where she's like, do you think this, like, who thinks, like, just someone reporting pain after an interaction, that counts as a bodily injury? Who thinks, like, there's visible redness, that counts as injury? She goes through all that just to go back and be like, hey, somebody reporting pain, that's enough per the law that, like, there is a physical altercation, they report being in pain, this is an assault now. Does anyone have problems considering pain as bodily injury with regards to an assault charge? And juror number 72 puts his paddle up. And at this point, I need to point out, juror 72 is also not dressed business casual. He's wearing scrubs and has what I can only describe as a very punchable face.
You know, I really wish there was a way I could imprint the mental picture. I just, like, imagine punchable face and scrubs. And, like, just to see how close it is to reality. Because I feel like this is, like, stock photo punchable face in scrubs in my head right now.
I'm going to try, after this is done, remind me, I will try to find, I'm sure I can go through stock photos and find something very close to this man.
Okay.
So... and, like, he was, like, very huffy and puffy and, like, muttering under his breath, but clearly...
And he blew the courtroom down.
Blew the courtroom down. Like, when we had our initial hour delay, he was doing that thing where he was, like, muttering, but, like, clearly wanted to do it loud enough for people to hear that he very clearly had other more important places to be. Which, like, on the one hand, if you're actually, like, a doctor, like, I get it. You probably should be doing other stuff, but, like, we've got, like, there's 4 people that are in this jury pool who are also, like, school teachers, and, like, I was like, everyone's got shit, and, like, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Whatever. So, I've already decided he's got a very punchable face. And so he puts his little paddle up. And he was like, yeah, so I'm a surgeon, and, like, I know that pain is very subjective. And at this point, like, I don't disagree with the thing he said. But then he keeps talking, he's like, pain is really subjective. So if someone's entire argument is that they're in pain, he's like, I hear that from people all the time. I'm not going to believe somebody if that's their only thing. So, like, no, I'm not going to, like, take an assault charge for pain seriously. And my first thought is, if this man is a surgeon, I don't want him anywhere near me. When he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to believe somebody if they're in pain.
Yeah.
What?
I don't let anesthesiologists into my OR, thank you very much.
Right? Like, I want to know what the fuck kind of surgeon he is. Anyways, number 1, Santroco demands we hydrate, everybody drink water, and, Sacred Dave, thank you so much for that follow. God, yeah, I mean, Banana brings up the thing, he's like, think of how stupid the average person is and realize half of them are stupider than that. Like, what do you call a doctor who graduated at the bottom of his class?
Doctor.
Exactly. So, yeah. So he says that, and now I'm like, oh, you're definitely punchable. Like, 100%. So, we're off to that start, and then we get to the next kind of, like, section of it that the DA is like, you know, under the law, you as the jury have to give the same weight to direct evidence as circumstantial evidence. And she's like, examples. She's like, direct evidence is something like this. And she puts up a picture of a corgi with their head in a peanut butter jar. And I was like, on the one hand, cute and relatable. And I understand you need to use examples for a jury. However, again, this is a third degree. Oh, because we gotta go back to the third degree thing. We're like, this is a third degree assault. This feels a little bit juvenile for like how serious this should be. I need to go back and point out, to make it third degree, it has to either be against someone disabled or elderly, or it has to be a repeat offense. Okay?
I mean, I don't know what that says about our jurisprudence that we think elderly and infirm people are only 3 degrees away from the serious stuff.
So you gotta remember that's what that definition is, because it becomes relevant in a little bit.
Okay.
So but it's that serious, and it's like, here's a picture of a corgi with their head in a peanut butter jar. It's like, this is cute, but also like, that's a choice. She's like, you walk in, you you caught him red-handed. You know he is licking the peanut butter out of the peanut butter jar. You've seen this directly. But like, let's say you like left the peanut butter jar out, and it was totally fine, and then you had to go in the other room for something, and you came back, and there's peanut butter missing, and it looks like it's been smeared, and you're like, you can probably kind of guess what happened, but you didn't see it, so you're not really sure. But then you see this, and there's a picture of a dog with peanut butter smashed all over their face, and they're like, you can reasonably infer, like, okay, I didn't see it happen, but like, clearly these two things are connected. And the law says you have to be able to give these two things the same amount of weight. Does anyone here object to that? And I'm one of the people who put my paddle up, because I already know what my answer is in my head for this. But they, again, need to focus on the first 2 rows, so they just start with the lowest number that had their little paddle up. And are like, juror number 14. Why do you disagree with this? And he says pretty much the same thing I did, and that I would have said, where he's just like, if you tell me there is direct evidence, there is photographs of the thing, there's video of the thing, I'm going to give that more weight than anything circumstantial. Because circumstantial, it's like in this exact example, these 2 pictures are clearly related, and you know you were the only people in the house, and you know that there's no other viewpoint to consider. But in an actual kind of case, it's like, you're going to show us the circumstances that build the story that you want us to believe, and that doesn't mean that's all the circumstances surrounding it. So I can't give them the same amount of weight, because I don't know if there's pieces to that story I'm missing.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say this juror, said something that you were gonna say, and he was gonna be like, well, I'm gonna cite Danganronpa V3, chapter 4.
So he says that, and this throws this lawyer for a loop. She is clearly flustered. And
she doesn't have an office meme for this.
No. National Ads, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. So she kind of stumbles over her words a little bit and tries to like paraphrase what he said, and says it like just different enough that he's like, no, I mean like this. And she just like, okay. She's like, who here agrees with what the statement juror number 14 made? And now, like, everybody who already had their paddles up, theirs are still up. But now some more go up. And this is clearly way more than she is anticipating at this point. And she's like, okay. Like, clearly, like, her voice changes. She's like, okay. And just starts, like, reading off the numbers for the court reporter to take down and for her co-counsel to take down. And she gets through, like, some of the numbers, and the court reporter goes, hold, please. And we all assume this is the court reporter catching up. And instead what happens is the court reporter stands up and leaves the room.
Okay.
There is clearly confusion from both council tables, the judge and the bailiff. The bailiff follows her. And he comes back in, like, a few seconds later and whispers something to the judge, who goes, okay, everybody, like, we need to take a quick break real quick. We'll just say, like, 15 minutes. Be back in here by 11:45. No, by 11:30. So we've, like, barely gotten started. It's like, be back in here by 11:30. You're welcome to stay in here if you would like, or you can go back out into the waiting room and go to the restroom, whatever. But we'll resume at 11:30.
Could you imagine having that kind of power, Jen, that if you left the room, everyone has to put their life on pause for you?
Right?
I mean, I know stenographers are pretty awesome. I didn't realize they're that awesome.
Yeah. So, is there anything in particular you would tell me to do with my afternoon? Should I go with 777? I don't think I need the money, though. I feel like that's the big draw here, is getting money.
Yeah, so any day that ends in a 7, so like the 27th, 17th, you get, I think, double money. I don't know if you get extra, like, proficiency or charm or anything like that. I think it's just extra money. So, I mean, if you can hang out with, with On or Ryuji or, literally anyone, I would do that, or, work on your knowledge or something like that.
Okay. Let's go study and try to work on knowledge.
Okay. Let's do it.
Or I could let's see if your thing wants me to do stuff.
Sup?
Okay, I feel like this is probably a better use of my time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll never go wrong investing in your party's social links.
Okay, we'll do that then. So 11:30 rolls around. We're all shuffling back into the room. We don't actually resume again until 11:45. And this is where the judge comes in. It's like, okay. So our court reporter is ill and needed to leave. We have found another reporter that can fill in. However, she's on another docket right now and will not be free until noon. Or until, like, noon, 12:50, something like that. She's like, so this actually seems like a really good time. We're just going to go ahead and take our lunch break. You get 45 minutes. Be back here at 12:30. And then she releases us again. So I need to point out, like, we've all been here since 9. Nothing's happened so far. We've gotten 15 minutes into one of the council being able to do their questions.
You know what? It's almost like someone was playing a Persona game and you were an NPC.
What is...
Gotta be it.
Oh, no. I don't like this, Ryuji.
By the way,
You bring yourself... We just came straight from the school! I didn't know we were doing this today! What? A party map? What are we talking about? Neither of these feel good. I don't want to...
It was the right answer.
Sure, yeah, I want to beef up with the beef bowl. That's me beefing up. What are you talking about? God.
Yeah, my guts get so good eating, like, literally, like, both literally and metaphorically, my guts get better eating this.
I feel like my gut's gonna get worse if I eat that much beef, but anyways. So we all leave. I eat my sandwich I have shoved in my backpack. 12:30, they will not let anybody back into the courtroom. They finally let us in at 1. They let us put ourselves in our own order. I guess they didn't trust us to be able to do that until we had paddles, but now we have paddles, so, like, we know where our seat is. We can just go there. So... what? Ryuji? What? I mean, like, yes, okay.
You mean you don't always walk around with an extra pair of underwear, just in case?
I don't even know how to respond to what's happening in the game or that. I don't know what to do with any of this. Anyways, so we finally get back in at 1, and we're going to pick up where we left off. But at this point, the DA has had too much time to think about the discussion that was happening before we had to take our impromptu break. And I don't mean that in a way where she, like, thought too much about it and, like, went down a rabbit hole. What I did is she thought too much about it. And, you know, like, that idea of, like, the more times you try to recall something, like, a little bit changes each time kind of thing.
Yep.
So she's done many of those cycles over the last hour. So we pick up where we left off, and she goes, okay, so when we all left, like, we were having this conversation, because juror number 14 said, whatever, and says something completely different. And she goes, who agrees with that? And, like, no paddles go up, because that's not the conversation we were having. And then she goes, well, now this is interesting, because a lot of you objected to this before, so what happened? And juror 14 puts this thing up. He's like, feel like I need to clarify, the thing you just said is not what I was saying. What I said was this. And she's like, oh, okay. And so then she repeats it back, but, like, one key word is different. And then without waiting for any further clarification or anything from him, repeats it again, but changes another thing.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, who agrees with that? And he interrupts her and is like, no. He's like, he's like, if you want to ask that question, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But that is not what I said and not what my objection is. And I do not want that on that record. And she goes, okay. She's like, well, let's start with the thing I just said. Well, she repeats it again. She's like, who agrees with that? And only like 2 or 3 things go up. She's like, okay, juror 14, can you repeat yourself? And he repeats his thing, and she goes, okay, who agrees with that? And like 20 of our fucking paddles go up. So she then starts going down the line and asking each of these people follow-up questions. Mm-hmm. And like starts doing the thing where like, well, you know, like, I understand you object to this. It was like, but the law requires you to do this. And so, one of the people she did on was like, I know, and that's why I put my panel. I'm saying like, I understand the law requires that of me, and I'm saying I cannot fulfill that because I disagree with it at its core. And eventually, like, the judge jumps in and is like, we are on a timetable. I think you just need to write down the numbers, and if you need to ask individuals follow-up questions at a later time when we're in the selection process, I think that's the time for that, but we need to move this along. So now she just rattles off the rest of the numbers, gets that all recorded. Gets to a section talking about witnesses and witness credibility and how, like, you have to start everyone from the same baseline of credibility when they walk into the room, before they've said anything. You can't look at a person and be like, based on something about their appearance, you can't decide they are less credible than someone else. Once they start talking and giving you information, you can decide how reliable, how credible, and whatever you think from there, but you have to start everyone from that same baseline. Is there anyone here who objects to that? And one dude puts his paddle up, and it is a crusty old white man. And
in sweatpants that say juicy.
No. And me and the people around me all kind of had the same reaction, where we feel like we know where this is going. And the DA's like, okay, what is it you object to? And he starts talking, and he has an accent that is clearly from a European country. And he goes, I've only been in this country for about 6 years. And at this point, I know without a doubt that anybody who identifies as a Republican cannot be trusted. And if I see someone who looks like they probably voted for Donald Trump, I will believe nothing they say.
That is awesome.
I love the fucking incredible.
I love the European education system. It is perfect.
It took a turn, none of us expected that to come out of this man, and the fact that it did, and he was, like, unapologetic about it, was fucking great. And watching some of the other people in the courtroom have reaction, there's a lot of people who are like me, and going, oh my god, fuck yes. And you could see the people in the room who would have been ones he was talking about not think this was good. It was wild. And this again throws this DA counsel for a fucking loop. And her face, like, does not have a good poker face, so I really want to know how this trial ends up going. She just kind of like looks for a minute before she goes, thank you for your candor with that. Moving on. This goes to the next slide. Like, clearly did not know how to respond to any of this.
You know, you can dish out the office memes, but when someone, I guess not really a joke, but when someone throws something back at you, you got to be able to roll with it.
Yeah, God, it was fucking beautiful. Completely subverted expectations. I was like, I want to high five this man when we leave. I did not, spoilers, but he was too far away. He was in the early teens of numbers. I was all the way back at 62. It was very hard. So all of that stuff happens. And prosecution is like ending with the idea of like, hey, like if you're on the jury, like you're gonna make a decision like based on like, beyond reasonable doubt. And she's like, what, let's talk about what that means. She's like, because it does not mean no doubt. Like, you can't have no doubt. You weren't there. You did not witness it. It is whatever you decide is like a reasonable level is like, you are confident you are making the right choice. Even if there are some things that you feel like maybe haven't been fully explained. Like, at what point is it reasonable? At what point is it questionable? So she's in the middle of doing that when the judge cuts her off, and it's like, you've had your hour. That's it. So, did anyone stand up and start a slow clap? No, several of us clearly wanted to, but like, it was not gonna be appropriate. I also didn't want to get the attention of the people who were mad at this answer. So now the defense stands up. They're gonna get their turn, and the judge is like, "I'm really sorry. I know we said we were gonna get a break between these two, but we've already had multiple breaks. I feel like we all just kind of want to get through this. Does anyone object to that?" And we're all like, "No, please. Like, I have to pee, but go. Just fucking go." So defense stands up, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I've been a defense attorney for like 30 years.
I'm just a simple country defense lawyer."
And it's important to bring up the fact that he's been doing this for 30 years. Because by the time the prosecution finishes, I was like, clearly the way they were phrasing stuff, and I was like, they're setting us up for the idea that they don't have a lot to go on. This very much feels like this will be a he said, she said thing. And I feel like that's what the prosecution's preparing us for. And based on how this lawyer reacted to some of the curveballs of the jury, I'm like, I don't feel great about the state's chances. And then the defense lawyer gets up and starts talking. And by the end of this, I'm like, they got a pretty good shot. So he stands up, and the thing that he's starting with is the idea of beyond reasonable doubt. And he straight up just starts with the sentence like, it is, he's like, it is not with no doubt, but like, how much doubt really is reasonable? And how much is something that you should listen to your gut about, that there's enough missing about this story? It is much better to let a guilty person go free than to let someone who's innocent go to jail. We're talking a minimum of 2 years. So, like, do you want to potentially send an innocent person for 2 years? So let's talk about what reasonable doubt means. Disguise, thank you so much for that follow. And he looks, so this is when I found out all of the lawyers actually have a little panel that's like, we've been randomly assigned numbers because that puts us in order for like where we might be in the jury. It doesn't give us anonymity. They have a little chart that tells them all of our names.
Oh.
So this guy, instead of just calling on juror number 17, juror number 2, whatever, looks at his little chart and picks a name and is like, and says like, Miss So-and-so, what do you think reasonable doubt means? What's an acceptable level of doubt? And I'm like, I don't know how you verbalize an answer to this. And I'm like, and now my anxiety has fucking spiked. Because I'm like, if he calls my name, I will just pass out. I don't know how to answer this question out loud. Like, I was like, for me, I'll just be like, does my gut feeling lean positive, or does it make me feel nauseous? That's my line. I don't know how to verbalize that, other than that sentence I just said. So this poor woman, like, gives an answer, and he goes, no, that's not really it. And then he picks another name. And now I'm just getting flashbacks to every, like, worst popcorn-style teacher in high school.
Yep.
I fucking hate it. He gets through 7 people, has clearly not liked any of the answers, and he goes, no, that's not really it either. I guess we should just move on. Does not give the definition he wanted. Nothing. He just goes to the next slide. Moves on.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, okay, that doesn't feel great. Goes to the next slide. There's like 2 sentences up there. He kind of reads it to himself, shakes his head, and then skips that slide. Goes to the next one. So then he's like, there has to be, he's like, your job's is yours. Like, it's innocent until proven guilty. You have to have a presumption of innocence for the defendant. So like, if you had to go vote right now, you are required to say not guilty because you have no information at this point. So he's like, is there anybody here who would object to that? And there's a few of us, and I will say me included, whose paddles go up. And there's like 8 of us, which like is clearly more than he was expecting. And I'm number 62, so it doesn't even get to me for like asking for clarification of like what we mean by that. But this first person fucking nailed it. He picked whatever the first juror was that had their panel up, and he goes, and he's like, I just want to be clear. You're saying that the law says you have to assume this man is innocent until the state is able to prove that he is guilty. And you're saying you can't do that? The law requires it. And you're saying you can't do it. This man is being very aggressive now. And I'm like, I don't like you. So this person was like, yeah, here's my problem. Is we already know that the charge, the only way it's this degree is if it was a disabled or elderly person, or it's a repeat offense. And even if you end up in a situation where for whatever reason, his previous record cannot be brought up in court, if we know it has to be one of these 2 things, and we know it's not the first one, I'm gonna have to know that it means this is a repeat. And if he's done it once, I am much more inclined to believe he will do it a second time. And the defense is like, if a previous record cannot be considered unless it is brought up as evidence. And this person's like, I understand that, but I also need you to understand you've given me 2 options for why this is the charge, and if it's not the first one, it has to be the second one, and the second one requires there's a previous charge, that there is a previous record. Like, that just, if logical conclusion, that has to be true. So even if you have not admitted it to evidence, I have some logical thought process. This is a thought that I have to have because it's the only way we end up here.
It's like the coroner saying, no, this man drowned. What was in his lungs? I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Unimportant, thank you for the follow. My camera got blurry for no reason. I'm just going to wait for that to come back. There we go. So yeah, so the defense is like mad about it. And he goes, okay. He goes, does anybody, who else agrees with that? And a couple more panels go up. And he goes, okay, you can put them down. At no point when he asked for anybody's numbers to go up did he read any of them out loud. So it is not in the court reporter's record. His co-counsel is not writing anything down. He's just looking at the numbers and going, okay. And then moving on. And I'm like, do you have a photographic memory? Like, what's happening? What's happening here? He takes an entire, 15 minutes. And then he just goes, yeah, I think we're good. And goes and sits down.
All right.
So at this point, the judge is like, okay, it's like, you can all leave at this point. Like, we're going to go through the numbers, get to our first 13. Anybody who indicated that they would have more follow-up information, that they weren't there were some questions they asked where they're like, this can get very personal. If you don't feel comfortable answering in front of 70-something strangers, we can make a note of that. And if we feel like we need clarification and more information, we will ask you privately. So they're like, this is the point where we're going to send everybody out. There's some people we might call back in to have those private conversations with to get more of their information. So they send us all out at 2:00. What's bonkin'? Ryuji, what? So they send us all out. It's like 2 o'clock at this point. And like 2:15, they call like 30 people back into the room. And the rest of us that are like sitting outside are like, okay, I feel like that's gotta be like the first like chunk that they're like, we have 13 within this, and we're just like asking some follow-up questions, so like maybe you narrow it down from here or something. And those 30 people are in there for like 20 minutes, and then they get sent out. And then a couple people get called in individually and are there for like what was clearly like a single question at a time. It's like they were in there for like 2 minutes and left, and then they brought another person in. So they've stopped calling people in. It's like 2:45. Like, I don't remember if I said this. When they sent us out, they said it should be like no more than an hour. Okay. So it's like 2:45. They haven't called anybody else in for a while. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3:30. And we're all like, what the fuck? And at like 3:40, the bailiff comes out and is like, hey guys, it'll be like probably another 5 minutes. They're almost done. They're
probably watching episodes of The Office right now.
Bailiff goes back into the courtroom. We can all hear, like, the waiting area is large enough, but the like sound kind of echoes a little bit. And we all hear the door latch. And there's silence for a couple of seconds before someone somewhere in the waiting room goes, yeah, sure, whatever you say, buddy. Because none of this day, like, this was supposed to be a 3-hour thing, and now we've been here for almost 7 hours. And so he says that, and we all start laughing. And you know in the courtroom they did not hear that statement, but they heard all of us laugh, and that's never a thing you want to have happen. You're having a serious conversation, like the defendant's like in the courtroom and the entire room of jury selection people starts laughing at something. That's not good. So finally, like 3:45, bailiff was right. It was 5 minutes. I was fucking shocked. They bring us all back in. They have us all turn in our numbers, and they're like, hey, you don't have to sit in your order anymore. And we're like, great. I was like, I'm 62. I feel pretty confident I will probably not be in it, number one, because I'm just so far back, and number two, I feel like I objected to things that neither side liked. So it's like, I'm probably okay, and I want to be able to GTFO as soon as they release us. So I'm sitting back close to the door. So I'm around new people at this point. And they go, okay, thank you so much for all of your patience and blah, blah, blah. All right. These are the people who have made the jury. And they say, like, made the jury, like it's like making a team. Like, they're trying to give it a positive spin, but also clearly everyone is so tired, there's no enthusiasm behind it. So they just start reading off numbers along with the names. So they're like, number 2, Ashley Smith. Number 3, okay, whatever. And they do a lot. They're like, number 2, number 3, number 7, number 8. We're like, okay, like, a lot of the early ones. They're like, number 8, number 14, number 27. And they like, fucking jumped. And everyone around me all went, oh, fuck, all at the same time. Because we've been, like, counting on our fingers, like, the number of people. Because we know they gotta get to 13. And we're like, okay. They're only halfway through. And they jumped, like, hard. We're like, uh-oh.
You're thinking of it like that way. Imagine you're 26. You're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's like, at that point, all those people were like, whew, okay. And we're all like, oh, shit. They got up to, like, number, like, I think the last one was 43. Like, They went more than halfway through the pool. There was a woman who was close to me who was like number 36 or whatever, and they called that one. I just heard her very quietly go, fuck. I was like, I'm so sorry. Because she was also one of the school teachers, and I heard her talking over a break to one of the other teachers being like, I don't have lesson plans for the entire week done up. I have them for today. She's like, so if I get pulled, I have to spend tonight making the rest of the lesson plans to try to submit for a sub to like try to do. And she teaches like high school science. It's not like a younger class where you can like kind of bullshit your way through. It's like there's stuff to do. Shit.
All right. Wheel out the TV.
Yeah. Everyone's watching Bill Nye all week. Let's go. Yeah. So they're like, oh, these 13 people, like, you need to stay for some extra instructions. The rest of you are free, are dismissed. And we all, like, it was like when a flight has been delayed for so long and they're finally like, okay, we're opening the door, you can leave now, and everyone gets up. Like, there's only one little aisle. There's not a lot of room, but everyone's like, I need out of here immediately. Anyways, that was jury duty.
Cool. And that was just the selection.
That was just the selection. Yeah, and I'm just like, son of a bitch, man. That was a lot for the selection.
Pathos brings up a good part. Like, everyone to the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
At that point in the day, during lunch, the elevator was working again. So I don't know what it was at the end of the day. I beelined it for the stairs.
There you go. Yeah, it gives you a good sense of how long you were there. They fixed an elevator.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
We'll put that in our yardsticks of not actual measurements.
Yeah. It's just like an ice storm weighing a certain number of corgis.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's jury duty. That was a long story, but I feel like it was worth it.
There you go. No, absolutely. Carol, you know what? That was rough. You know, obviously dealing with serious things. I have the perfect chaser for that.
Oh,
Something
yes,
that is
please do.
cute and adorable.
Oh my god, yes.
So, just the youngest daughter. She's about to turn 4. Her
Oh my
birthday
gosh.
is.
Oh my
her birthday's-
gosh.
Yeah, her birthday's this month, so she is turning 4. And the only reason I say that is I want everyone to picture how a 4-year-old thinks and talks. So I am driving her to daycare, and she has a plastic pink Minnie Mouse phone, and she likes to pretend to call people. Like, sometimes I'll have my cell phone, and we'll have a conversation on our phones, and she's really cute and adorable about it. And she gets her phone and starts hitting buttons on it. And I ask her, "Oh, are you calling me?" She goes, "No, I'm calling Mama." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's really sweet that you want to call Mama." And she goes, "Hi, Mama." Pauses. "I'm good. How are you?" Pauses. "I'm going to school. What are you doing?" "I hope you have fun at work." And this whole time I'm thinking, like, one, it's adorable, but two, it's like, oh, she is having an imaginary conversation where she is imagining what my wife would be saying, pausing for it, and responding to it. It's like she's having her own conversation. That's really cool developmentally to see in a 4-year-old. Yeah. And then she does that. It's like, "I hope you have fun at work." And then she goes, "Oh, I don't know." Kind of like my ear perks up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." And I'm like, what conversation is she having in her head right now?
Oh my god.
And more importantly, where has she heard that?
Yeah.
And then my brain immediately went to, "Oh no, have I been doing that? No, I can't. No, I don't do that often. I do that with my mother all the time, and I've been doing it since I was a teenager."
For real?
God.
But it was just so... I don't want to say I almost veered off the road because I was trying not to laugh, but what I wouldn't, what was going, like, what was my imaginary wife's daughter's head to get the disinterested teenager. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh god.
But it's funny, like, that must just be a universal thing. Like, everyone knows a person or has been that person to talk with their parents of, like, just like, I don't know mom, I don't know dad. So much so that when I was in high school, my cousin from Italy spent a week with my family, like with my family in Pittsburgh, and we had a great time, and communication was fine. I understand Italian, he understands English. It was totally worked out well. But every other day he would either call Italy or Italy would call us to like his parents would check in with him. And even though, like, different culture, different lifestyle, and even a language barrier, a teenage boy will be a teenage boy. It's like, ciao mama, ciao dada, va bene, talking, and then the, like, 5 minutes in, it was just, non lo so, I don't know. Non lo so, non lo so, and I was like, yes, I love that. Maybe it's just my family, but it doesn't, like, teenage boys will be teenage boys no matter where they are in the world.
Oh, I love that. I love all of that. Oh, we're gonna do this. My glass is empty. Do you want a break or do you want to vamp?
Oh, I can absolutely vamp.
All right. Oh my god, I'm level 5 with him. Hot damn.
Yeah, like, and we're nowhere near the end of the game.
We're fucking cruising. I think on is 4 right now. Is where I ended
She's
up.
getting there.
Yeah.
She's almost at that very, very important rank where very important decisions need to be made, but, you know.
Oh, no. God. Anyways, I'm gonna run away.
Okay.
I'll be back in a second.
All right. Hey, everyone. You know, normally I ask what video games you're playing, and I feel like I've overdone that. So I think last time we did just random word associations that you give me a word and I would just say something. Let's not do that. Let's just do random questions. Let's just ask random questions. I'll be happy to field them. And while chat is catching up, yeah, we'll wait to see what Jen decides to do when that rank hits with On, who is the VA for Kyoko. Very important. Very important. Ashley, James, can we see light? Can you see light? I heard Jen yell. Can we see? Jen is saying we'll do science later. On a technicality, I would say we perceive light, Ashley. Oh no, I think I killed Jen. Banana. James, as a statistician, what is your opinion of the D&D standard array? Do you feel it actually represents statistical average better than rolling for stats? The standard array is good for risk-adverse people. So, in terms of like what is statistically average, no, it's not statistically average. What it does do is that it placates a lot of people a majority of people are risk-adverse. People will take a certain answer that might be a more minimal value over an uncertain answer that might give, like a bigger payout, but there's also downsides associated with it. So the standard array is there to placate the people who are risk adverse and also people who aren't just super familiar. So it's very easy for a new player to pick up and say like, okay, these are my stats. I can allocate them wherever I can using these specific numbers. Now, I will say if I ever run a campaign, I like, I can't remember if Jen shared this on chat, but the array or I guess the rolling technique that Jen was using for another campaign was 2d6 plus 6, I believe is what it was. So at a minimum, it could be an 8, but at best it could be an 18. And I feel like that actually is a very fair average, like average level 1 person of, nothing is likely going to be super strong and you're not going to be super weak either. So I think it's a good balance. Let's see here. What's your favorite crochet stitch? I don't know. Ashley, James, what is your third favorite dinosaur? My third favorite dinosaur is a pterodon. Flashfire, can you break down why trickle-down economics does not work in a comedic way, and will you? It doesn't work because there's no leakage at the top because they're very good at preventing that. That's not funny, but that's concise and true. And Jen's back, so hey,
I am
welcome back.
with a Griffey.
With a Griffey.
With a Griffey. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah, that campaign, yeah, we did do, it was 2d6 plus 6, and I was like, this seems like fucking insane, and I love it, and I'm only ever doing stats like this ever again.
Me too.
Yeah, because I felt like it gave a better, like, I feel like the stats were more grouped together. There was less of a giant spread. Because you're only rolling 2 dice. So, like, yes, you can end up with a spread, but, like, based on the average rolls, it's like, okay, you're more likely to end up with something that's kind of in that middle. But you still had the same maximum of doing so many of the other rolling methods while a less punishing minimum. And I was like, this is fucking great. I love this. So that was good. Ashley, did you say no, me saying no, not that question before you heard me yell? Because that would be even funnier. She sent, I know anytime Ashley sends me a message on Discord that starts with the first message is just my name, it's gonna either be, like, super deep, impossible to type out a full answer kind of questions, or it's gonna be fucking unhinged and absurd. Those are the two choices. And so I just oh, go ahead.
And then, like, with those two outcomes, that's why you should never solely look at an average as a informed statistic.
Yeah. So, like, I got Jen, period. And I was like, oh, fuck, what's gonna happen? And then she follows up with, why can't we make things go the speed of light? I was like, okay. Do you mean why we as humans cannot force an object, like, force something to go the speed of light? Or do you mean this differently? She's like, yeah, no, that. It's just like, I feel like it's like friction or something. And I was like, in a very basic sense, yes, it's effectively the same reason why, like, any falling object has a terminal velocity. At some point, the force you are exerting going forward is being equalized with the force of whatever is opposing you. And that effectively happens. Like, you only achieve the speed of light in a complete vacuum, and we can't put the systems that use particle accelerators into full vacuums. We just can't. So it's like, we can get close, but, like, at some point, like, we can't get rid of all the extra shit. So
is that what Mass Effect relays are? They just make a perfect vacuum from one point to another, and then you can just accelerate to the speed of light?
Sure! Let's go with that!
Cool.
Why
Cool.
not?
I like the green ending.
So then it followed up with, like, can we see light? And I was like, oh boy, this is turning into a lot. This is turning into a lot. So the fact that she brought it up right now, I was like, that was ballsy. So hey, like, short version. We don't see light. We see light. We see what is left of light that has reflected off of other surfaces. Just like if you look, here's the thing, is if you look at a light source, don't look directly at it, but, like, find a light source, you know it's sending off light in all directions. Look at some, like, midway point. So, like, let's say, like, I've got my lights right here for streaming. There's a big panel right here that shines directly this way. So if I look at, like, perpendicular, I know there's light rays going across me right here, but if I look in that empty space, I don't see light there. I don't, like, things are illuminated because there's, like, ambient stuff, but it's like, I don't see light rays there. I see where the light has hit. So you don't see light, you see what is reflected off of a thing. And another good example is if you take a flashlight and go outside, if you point it straight up at the sky, you don't see any light. But if you point it down at the ground, now you see stuff. You're not seeing light, you're seeing what's left over.
Yeah, right. I mean, isn't that like saying, like, if I can't see a bullet in flight, but I know it was there, just because my eye can't perceive it doesn't mean it wasn't there.
Okay, all right, this is what we're doing. God, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to whiteboard this. All right, so that's different because that is a singular object that at any, like, flash, like, stop point in time. Like, if you were to 9th level spell slot, time stop, midair, in that spot where the bullet exists, you can see the bullet. It is there. You can't just see light. You can only see what's left over after it has bounced off of something else. Because, like, the reason we see color is because the color you see is the wavelength of light that is bounced off. Every other color of light, every other wavelength was absorbed by the thing. You are seeing what made it out of that. Because light is actually a giant spectrum. A mantis shrimp might be able to fucking see just light as it exists. I don't know. But, like, it is a huge spectrum, and a lot of it is not visible. There's a very small window of it that's visible. So
to humans, it's right.
to human, yeah. And there are regions of it that are not visible to anybody, or you need special equipment for it. Like that's what like an X-ray is. Like that's a wavelength that
and
like
ultraviolet
just
and
exists.
all of that.
Yeah. So it's like I see my green screen because the green wavelength of light is the only thing that reflects. Everything else gets fucking absorbed by it. So I can see this because that reflects it. I'm seeing a segment of light, but just light as it exists. Like there's light all around me, but I can't see it. Otherwise I would just be blind. I wouldn't be able to get to anything because all of that would just be in the way. I just see what it bounces off of. So the short version is you can't just see like light. You see a very small particular section of it, and it's just whatever remains after it hit other stuff. So anyways, hi Twix. So there's the shortest version of that answer I can give to your bullshit, can we see light? I can't believe we did this.
Hey, but you know what? We learned something, and learning is important.
There you go. God.
Uh-oh, Ashley's saying
oh no, we got an also, but she didn't start with just my name, so like I feel like it's gonna be okay.
Maybe she was just being inclusive of both of us. Maybe this is something we both can feel, like in that weird Venn diagram of stuff where both of our knowledges intersect.
So yeah, so Deuce, when you see, so black is all of the light got absorbed, but you can still see a black thing, so you're like, what fucking gives? And so, what,
it's
so
not perfect. Weird. It's not perfect black.
Yeah, Vanta black is fucking disconcerting to look at.
That's Wile E. Coyote kind of black.
It truly is. So yeah, so it's like, black is an absence of, it's not an absence of light, it is an absence of visible colors. So there's still, like, it absorbed all the things. So, like, you see a gap is kind of how that works. Then you also get into the weird thing where it's like there's no such thing as actually truly black. No black is actually black. It's just a very dark blue or purple or green. But that, I can't get into that shit. So there we go. Why are we talking about science? Well, first of all, I am a scientist, so this does happen here. We spent an hour talking about neutrinos and super magnets last week.
I am a scientist on a technicality. It depends how. It depends your definition of scientist and corroborating evidence and all the other.
So yeah, Twix, sometimes people are just like, I had a random science thought, here it is, and then we talk about it. And so one of my people asked, can we see light? And I was like, that's more complicated than you would expect. So there we go. Moving away from that, I need to tell a story about Jeff, because I don't think he's listening, so I can get away with this.
Okay.
For those of you who are new, because we've had a couple new people, Jeff is my spouse. So Jeff, the other day goes, hey, there's a hole in a pair of my jeans, can you fix it? And I was like, what kind of hole is there and what kind of fix do you want? Because I was like, I don't have a good solution for, like, if these are your nice jeans and you need them to look like they did not have a hole in them, I cannot do that. If you just need them to be functional for, like, working outside or whatever, I can put a patch over it so that way the hole doesn't get worse.
Yeah. Can I wear this to jury duty?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, no, a patch is totally fine. And he shows me this hole that is on the inside part of, like, an upper thigh kind of area in his jeans. And it's a perfect slit. And I was like, yeah, I could patch that so it doesn't get any worse. And he's like, okay, good. And then I kind of look at it, I was like, that looks like you cut it with a knife. And he kind of gets quiet, he goes, yeah. And I was like, did you stab yourself? In the, oh, he's hearing me. Hi, honey.
Well, you know what? Jamf is here too.
Oh, hi, Jamf. So this is when he admits to me he was breaking down cardboard using an X-Acto knife and just kind of wasn't like super paying attention to what he was doing.
Cut away from yourself.
Yeah, cut away from yourself. He did not cut away from himself. Cut towards himself and got himself very close to important bits. And this is when he then shows me that, yes, there is a Band-Aid on his leg in a place that I was like, there's important stuff in that part of your body. And I'm not making a dick joke here. I mean, like, you can bleed out through this area. Please do not cut boxes like this anymore.
You know, I think the saddest thing of this story is that it was probably not a fun Band-Aid that has Mickey Mouse or Sunny Bunnies on it, and that hurts my soul.
No, it was just a plain Band-Aid. Yeah. So anyways, are you glaring at me because you wish we had fun Band-Aids and not just plain ones?
Well, I know what I'm getting Jeff for his birthday.
There we go. So, anyways.
So if Jeff cuts toward himself with an X-Acto knife, is he also the type of person who cuts a bagel like into his palm?
Probably. He probably would do that. When you started that, we were like, if Jeff cuts towards himself, I was expecting this, something about the tone of it made it sound like very much like if a train leaves Chicago at 7:45, it felt like that, and I didn't know what the second thing was gonna be.
You know, if Jeff cuts toward himself with an X-Acto knife and Mercury's in retrograde, why can't we perceive light?
God. So anyways, I love my husband. He's very, very smart. He is an engineer who does incredible things that I could only dream of. But he also cuts towards himself when he breaks down boxes. He came back. Hi!
You know, we all have our kryptonite.
We do. We really do. He does a lot of really smart things, and then he does stuff like that.
Again, this is why taking the average alone is not a good statistical means of making inference. That's why you got, hey kids, that's why you got to learn about medians and modes too. You got to have like you got to triangulate that value. You can't just take one stat and call it a day.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, you could, and then you would be part of those jurors who were upset about the European guy. And I'm making an inference there, but I think I'm right.
All right, I gotta check. I can't imagine I can't imagine I'll have stuff 2 days in a row. All right, I should probably leave. Oh my God, it's a Chloe!
Chloe, thank you, Chloe. Happy Women's Day. I hope you had a good stream.
Yes, Chloe, welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders. And hand hearts appreciate you. What were you up to? I want to know. I want to know the things. Also, everybody, tell Chloe good luck. I'm not going to tell you what for, but she deserves it.
Hey, Chloe, I just want to let you know we're all counting on you. Good luck.
Jesus. Happy Woman Day, Chloe.
I'm just following directions, Jen. Come on.
Oh, God. Hi, Khaled. Anyways, Chloe, you've missed, we talked about science and then how we don't let Jeff break down boxes. I feel like those are the important things so far. God.
Indeed.
I should figure out where I'm going.
Yeah, you should probably go to Shibuya Station again.
Okay, should I go talk to Politician Man?
Yeah, go talk to Politician Man.
That one. This Station Square is where I want it. Yes, and I turn right, and I turn right again.
I will let you know again. Like Jeff is. You said Jeff Jeff is a very smart, intelligent man, and sometimes you cut towards yourself.
Please consider what I have to
My
say.
big old monkey brain sees like you go into Station Square. Pittsburgh has a very prominent Station Square, and every time it says that, I'm thinking like, oh, Pittsburgh. Like my first thought is always, oh, Pittsburgh. No, wait, Persona. You know how many times I've played this game, Jen, and I still go, ooh, Pittsburgh. No, that's not right.
Okay, I was like, we're just having the same fucking conversation again.
I just like wasting your time.
You know what? It would have been a good prank. It would have been. I don't know what it is about the proportions of this man's face that seem very incorrect. I'm gonna get out of the way so everybody can see it. I don't know what it is, but something feels wrong. I don't...
Is it the Roman nose?
You know what? I know what it is. This is going to be a very specific reference for a very specific subset of people. Is Sassy still here? I know she'll get it. Anybody who's been listening to Never After from Dimension 20, I imagine this is what it looks like when you start turning back into a frog. This is what I think is happening here. Anyways. Never After's fucking great. If you're not watching it, you fucking should. Brennan Lee Mulligan is a fucking genius, and has turned fairy tales fucking on their head, and it's great. Because so many of all the stories are like after the happily ever after part of like, maybe it's not so happily ever after, and it's incredible.
Hey, there's a musical about that. It's called Into the Woods.
Cool. I actually don't know anything about Into the Woods, so that is interesting. Yeah. I hate that it's a musical.
Yeah, I don't want to say I started it in high school, but I played a prominent role in it. Yeah, so Act 1 is all about the fairy tales and how the fairy tales interact with each other. So you have like Jack and the Beanstalk and Red Riding Hood together. Act 2 is the post happily ever after, and just everything is collapsing. It is the meme of the guy walking in with the pizzas to see the room on fire. You're like, what happened?
A good Sassy's still here. You have to tell us why you're cleaning cola up from your entire kitchen. This man, I'm in the way now. This man, I don't know if you heard the thing I said or saw his face, but I feel like this is the beginning of poor Murph's character when he started turning back into a frog. The way a lot of the Never After stuff is being approached is like the idea of you got turned into a frog until you could like learn your manners, and then you found true love, and now you turned back into a human. What if your wife starts to not love you as much? You start slowly turning back into a frog.
Man, what a great way to like check in on the status of your relationship. Like, oh no.
Yeah. And that started out as the joke, and then it got real bad real fast, and it's like, this is not funny anymore.
Wait, it's your birthday. No, you got a haircut.
Yeah.
Oh
no. It was funny because it was like clearly like it was like his eyes are getting a little bit bigger and just kind of like slowly spreading apart on his face. And they're like, it's fine. It's super fine. And then they had a big argument, and he woke up with no nose, and he's just like, well, shit. And I put one of the fridge packs of Coke in the fridge, but like wrong? Okay, instead of ripping it open like he should, he just opened the other end. You can then picture the way that went. I don't actually understand what's happening.
Right. I think I understand what's happening. So in like a carton of pop, and I'm going to call it the proper thing.
No, fuck off.
There's a perforated edge on the corner, so like if you lay it down horizontally, you can like rip the perforated edge at the top so it like opens up, and you can just grab your cans as they kind of roll to the front. I think someone did that, and then he opened up the back where it's folded like a box.
I am understanding now. So they all just kind of came just flying out. There was nothing to stop it. Okay, I get it now.
Yes. Yep.
I got there. I was like, I don't understand why this is a fucking problem. I made it. Chloe, no. I'm not friends with Chloe anymore. This is really upsetting to find out this way.
Hey, you know what, Chloe? You know what, Jen? I bet Chloe would love to have me on her streams playing Persona then. Jeez.
This is the weirdest custody battle.
It really is.
God.
And everyone knows how to be a juror now, so all right, everyone, let's get your numbers.
Oh my God. I have to say, I missed exactly what got said, but I did hear a little bit. Because I could hear the bailiff is very loud. His voice was either on or off. There was no in between. There was a juror. I heard them, like... I hear them say something to the bailiff, and they're checking in. It's like, okay, you're number 69, and then I hear a voice say something, and the bailiff just starts laughing, goes, nice. I was like, I want to know what joke you just made, because I'm sure this happens to this man all the time, but I appreciate that someone's like, it's jury duty, it's very serious. I still have to make a 69 joke. I, like, applaud you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If the assistant DA is pulling office memes, I think the bailiff can laugh at a 69 joke.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no.
Everyone.
I am holding a sign that says,
Let's find out. Hold on. I have the Google Translate app on my phone, and it can, like, just look at stuff. I want to know what it thinks it says, because it's, like, pretty good, but it's not infallible. All right. Camera. Okay.
Maybe it's a sign like if anyone watched old Venture Brothers, it's the robot that says, ignore me!
It won't... Why did you... It translated it... It's like, oh, this is Chinese, and it translated it into Japanese. I need you to translate it into English, please. Why is that a thing that just happened?
Oh, you mean this isn't what you wanted? Huh, weird.
It literally just allegedly says street talk.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So anyways. There we go.
Real street talk. From Man in a Sash.
Yep.
This is Mr. Japan.
James, do you have anything non-D&D you still want to talk about?
I do.
Okay.
You'll appreciate, this is a short story, but you'll appreciate this. So I'm in the process of interviewing for a role that reports to me at my job, and I have a few other managers sitting in on the interview just to have the their experiences, and if I miss a question, they're there to back me up, or just get their opinions on the candidates. And one of the people, one of my colleagues, after the interview, messaged me and goes, like, the person didn't have any red flags, maybe an orange flag. And like, I know what a red flag means. Mm-hmm. It's a very clear, understanding what a red flag means. And part of me knew what she meant by saying an orange flag, because I'm thinking about the visible spectrum and tying this back to light. I didn't mean for this to be a segue, but it is.
Incredible.
So I understood what she meant by saying it's not a red flag, it's an orange flag. Part of me got that. But the other part of me, it's like, this is like assigning, like, oh, Thursday is such a purple day. I'm like, part of me is like, no, I have to hate it on principle. I have to hate it on principle because I'm a very principled man. I don't like it.
Thank you.
I don't want to. Yeah. So it was very short, but yeah. I thought everyone would appreciate that I still struggle with even something like that.
I appreciate you sharing that. I've never had, I've been, red flag, I've been, something's like a yellow flag, so I'm like, is orange, did they say that as in, the way I would use yellow, or it's this is, for me, a red flag is, this is a problem. A yellow's, I don't know if it's a problem, but it did make me stop and reconsider for a moment, so I'm, I'm gonna put a pin in that to, see if that's a standalone thing, may not be a problem, or is this an indicator of a larger, is this a warning sign there is a red flag coming?
Yeah. Are we on the cusp of a red flag?
Exactly.
That's how I interpreted orange. Just again, visible spectrum. You're right there. But yeah, I hated it. It's like every inch of my body. So it was very recursive, because at first I was like, no, I understand what she meant by that. But no, I can't. No, on principle, I don't like this. And then I hated it even more because I was trying to be empathetic about it, and it just became a vicious cycle.
Yeah. Liz, that was my point. I was like, for them, was orange the way I would look at yellow? Or is it in between where it's this isn't a red flag, but I know it's more than just an indicator to look out for? I was like, that's what I want to know so much. I'm so glad I'm not in a position where I interview people. Jesus Christ. I never ended up having to do that at any of the stuff I did. And I did end up, like, I was actually on an interview panel, I guess, at one point when I worked in the medical job, because I was in the risk management team. And so, like, when we were interviewing somebody, like, our boss interviewed them and then brought in the rest of the subject matter experts. And so there was, like, a panel, like, 5 of us, so we could, like, ask other questions or whatever. So I did do that, but I wasn't, like, responsible directly for an interview. We only did that a couple times. And they were just like, hey, you have a meeting today. You're part of an interview panel. And I went, oh, okay. And then they asked questions, and I was just there to evaluate answers. So I wouldn't want to actually interview people. Fuck.
So Pathos is saying my favorite flag is the checkered flag. Now, I don't recommend anyone do this unless you're really confident and you know the person you're doing it to. There is a person who I used to work with, and he is very, like, he's not conservative, but he's from Texas, so he's very, like, loves, like, having his American flag everywhere. But again, like, not conservative, but it's like a weird mix, like, doesn't fit in a box. And he's like,
Well then,
you know, I
I
remember he was telling me one time, it's like, yeah, I love the red, white, and blue, like, gotta love that flag. And I pulled up a picture of the French flag and, like, this one, and you're like, no. And then I pulled up a Belgian, a Dutch flag. I'm like, this one? It's like, no. It's like the stars and stripes. And I pulled up a Liberian flag. This one?
Oh my god, I love this.
Just keep going down, like, oh, the red, white, and blue, huh? That mutually exclusive color just to us, huh?
Oh.
So again, I would recommend only doing that with someone you know that won't potentially stab you, and if they do it again, it would be 3rd-degree aggravated assault.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fucking so good.
You know how many countries have a red, white, and blue flag?
Several, yeah.
A lot.
There's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. The only other thing on my list. So this last weekend, there was a fundraiser at my daughter's school, and it was 90s themed. So a lot of people took it very seriously. I would say 9 out of every 10 people were dressed in some sort of costume or 90s attire, which is awesome to see. Jamf and I went as the good Jurassic Park, as Dr. Grant and Laura Dern, those characters. And I posted a picture in the Discord, so if you haven't joined the Discord, you can't see it yet, but you should. I loved the costume, and this is mad props to Jamf, because not only did she pick a great 90s character that we could dress up as, but the costumes, quote unquote costumes, were immensely comfortable. You know, it's like a blue hiking shirt and khakis, you know, like that's comfortable. Whereas like someone dressed as like Edward Scissorhands, or you had Wayne's World characters like with wigs on, or like Big Lebowski and stuff like that. So people were going all out for this. They had a band perform like all of like basically everything that you remember from like middle school and high school. I guess maybe not high school, middle school and maybe late elementary school. A lot of 90s music. But the band was like, they're a professional band, and they're trying to get people like, come on, everyone, let's get out on the dance floor, let's do this. And I told the people around me, like, look, we're parents of kids in elementary school. We are all very tired. Like, it is 8:30. We are shutting down. Like, who do you think you're talking to?
Exactly. Oh my god. I did love that picture of your costume, so it was incredible. I don't know if Jamf is still here, but it was very, very good.
Yeah, we went all in on it and appreciated every second of it. The one thing I did not appreciate, Jen, was the bathroom situation.
Okay.
So the bathroom at this place, it had automated toilet,
okay,
automated soap dispenser,
okay,
automated towel dispenser,
okay,
and the door even had that little like foot handle thing that you can open the door with your foot if you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, I have a story about one of those in a second.
Yeah. The sink still had knobs on it. Like,
beautiful.
why? Like, you've clearly invested in motion detection, hands-free, literally everything else in the bathroom except the handles of the sink that people are going to touch
Incredible.
after they had done their business. Like,
Let's go.
why?
I
Like,
don't know.
you can't see me folding my hands, like rubbing like my face and nose, and then pointing, going, why?
I hope you didn't do that before you washed your hands. Rubbing your face.
My
and all that.
my hands are always immaculate and immensely dry.
I like Liz's point. Maybe that's what the fundraiser is for, to get funds for that upgrade.
It was off-site. It wasn't even at the school.
I do agree that's kind of a weird order to have done things in, though, and the fact that they even put in the foot bit without changing the knob situation.
I think that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Honestly, like I could have forgiven it, and then like the decision to put the foot thing on the door, I'm like, really? Anyway,
Right.
that's my old man rant of the evening.
I love it. I appreciate those little foot things, but I hate it. There is at the park that's nearby us, there is like a little pavilion that has little restrooms in it. And that door has one of those foot things on it. It is also the heaviest door with the most stuck hinges I have ever experienced. And the first time I tried to use that little foot thing to like pull the door open, I thought I like dislocated my hip. There is no way to get enough leverage to pull that door open with just your leg. It takes both hands to rip it open. You can't do it. You can't do it. And I'm like, they have to know.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think it's their like a trick, like gluing a quarter to the floor to see how many people like bend over and try to pick it up or something like that?
Maybe. It's like every once in a while, I'm like, maybe they've kind of fixed it. And I was like, or maybe I just did a wrong angle. I'll try it again. I'm like, nope, I'm going to hurt myself trying to do this. Like, this is insane.
Hey, everyone say goodnight to Jamf.
Oh, good night, Jamf. I love you.
She didn't say it. She didn't say it in chat, but she texted me that she is going to sleep. So on the off chance she was still listening, I hope she heard everyone say it.
Yay! I hope she just feels our energy.
Mm-hmm. Feels that 37 yellow energy.
Yeah. No, it's not yellow. What do I think good night? I feel like good night has to be like a deep blue if I was gonna give it a color.
I will not go gently into that deep blue. Rage against the dying red light. Hair, excuse me, I'm gonna go throw up. Ugh.
God. Anyways, although speaking of, so Ashley brings up a good point, like, also those things, to pull a door open, like, generally, like, I don't know what it is about women's shoes refusing to have treads on them, but that is a thing. So it also makes it very hard to use those, even in, like, non-heavy door circumstances. There are some shoes I know that, like, if I put these on, I was like, I can't use that thing. I can't do it. Like, there's, our speakeasy has one of those on the door. And I'm like, I'm wearing heels that it's just a smooth sole. There's nothing to grab onto. There's nothing. I can't use that there. Anyways. But speaking of shoes, I have one more non-D&D thing.
Go on.
I've been trying to reteach myself how to tie my shoes.
Trying to reteach yourself how to tie shoes. Okay.
So
I understood each of those individual words in the sentence, and I have recorded it in my head. Please continue.
Okay. So, like, I know how to tie my fucking shoes. But I've always, like, and I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, you tie your shoes, and after a while, like, the little floppy bow tie bits, like, are rotated up, like, towards my leg, and, like, I just, like, I feel the shoelaces flopping around, and it fucking drives me fucking nuts.
So your tie has gone 90 degrees.
Yes, and the tie has gone 90 degrees. And I finally learned why.
Mm-hmm.
there's actually, like, physics reasons behind this. Like, physics, geometry, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Is when you tie a knot or whatever, it rotates the thing. It rotates your coming in materials, rotates them by 45 degrees. And so you need to, like, tie things, like, in an opposite fashion, like whatever direction you tie the first knot in, you need to tie the second knot in the opposite direction so the 45s cancel out and it stays flat. And if you don't do that, then it will turn a full 90 degrees, 45 and then 45 again. So now that I have this beautiful piece of information, I'm like, okay, there's nothing about how I tie that felt like these two actions were going the same direction. So now I just have to consciously think about, like, the very first step. I'll loop the two things over each other, and I'll go to pull it, and then I will actively, like, go back and have to make myself think about doing it the opposite way so I know that I get a different direction so that my two things will cancel out. Because I feel like it's a lot easier to change how I tie the first step rather than the second step. And now they don't fuck with me anymore, but it does take me, there is a 5-second delay where my brain goes, so you have to stop and do it and undo it and keep that motion of undoing it going so you can get the tie to go 45 degrees to the left, so when you do the second step, it goes 45 to the right, and now your shoelaces lay where they're supposed to.
You know what? I actually have a story on shoelace tying. Let me tell you, I have learned that the way Jamf ties shoelaces is different than the way I learned to tie shoelaces. And I would say for a lot of marriages, that would be a very testing thing when you're trying to teach a child how to tie shoelaces. But not ours. You know, we are persevering through the fact that we have learned to tie shoes a different way. Because it's just one of those things where, like, that's the way you learn. You're like, this is the only way to tie shoes properly. And then you see someone else do it. Or, like, you know, this might be something that, people who wear ties learn, is that there are multiple ways to tie a tie, when it's like, no, there's only one way to tie a tie properly, and that's a Windsor knot, obviously. And then people are like, no, I just do this wrap around thing, and just wrap it and pull it through. And I kind of want to throw them off a bridge, but it's fine. No, but Jamf and I, we persevered through that difference. And our poor daughter is just like, I don't know who to listen to. Like, you're telling me one thing, you're telling me another thing. Like, I'm gonna go with just the youngest daughter and get on my pretend phone and pretend to have normal parents.
Okay, so you said you tie your shoes different ways.
Yes.
So is one of you like the bunny ears method, and one of you the loop around your thumb method?
Yes, I'm the loop around the thumb method.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love this interaction that's happening in the game. This woman is clearly trying to pump on for her secrets of how she's so pretty and thin and whatever. And Anna's like, I eat whatever the fuck I want. I don't know what you're talking about. And the fact that she said, boil hard water, isn't it hard to boil ice, fucking kills me. God, this is an awkward interaction to be witnessing even as a player. I can't imagine being the protagonist right now.
Fortunately, you're silent.
Oh, she's gonna get mad! Oh, no. Okay, I'm getting, like, some flashbacks to some high school bullshit here, where all she said was like, yeah, this is a hobby for me, and this bitch is like, what do you mean you don't care about modeling? So when I was in high school, I was on the track team, and I was very fast. I was one of the sprinters. The rule was if I was running for more than 30 seconds, I was either too slow or in the wrong race. I did the 100 meters and the 200 meters. I did both of those races, and I did both of those relays. And I wouldn't do anything beyond that. My coach kept trying to get me to do the 400 because we didn't have a lot of people in the 400. I was like, the 400 sucks. I was like, I'm good for that first 200 meters, and then after that, I will die. I can't do it. So I was varsity. I was one of the people they actually put in the actual competition heats. And my junior year, like, my relay team was doing very well, and we were at one of the qualifying events, and, like, we did pretty good, but, like, our time was at we were at, like, a weird middle ground spot where, like, we weren't for sure gonna make the qualification to go to states, and so we had to kind of wait and see how everybody else was doing. And me and one of the other relay people were talking, and I was like, if we got to go to states, cool, but I don't, like, want to go. And, like, the emphasis being, like, I'm not gonna be upset if we don't go. Like, yes, it would be very cool, but, like, I know my life, my career, my whatever, like, this is a thing I do for fun and for activity. I'm not hinging anything on this, so if we don't go, I'm not gonna be, like, upset about it and distraught or whatever. And one of the other people on the relay team heard this and goes and talks to the coach about it, who then comes over and starts screaming at me for intentionally throwing the race so we wouldn't qualify, because this person took me saying I don't want to go as saying I actively do not want to go. And, like, if you saw those words written out, you'd be like, I don't see what the difference is. But I feel like explaining it, you can, like, see what the difference is here.
Yeah.
So she was convinced I had thrown my leg of the race because I was like, ew, no states, no thank you. Rather than just being like, yeah, if we make it, cool, but if we don't, like, whatever, then it's a Saturday I have free. I'm not worried about it. Sunturco wants us to drink water. Everybody do it. So anyways, I'm getting flashbacks to that fucking conversation with this interaction happening right here.
I like that you can project your annoyed high school classmate on a Persona character.
Uh...
I don't know if that makes Kyoko more endearing to you, or...
Oh,
just
absolutely.
Like... Okay. But yeah, you know, we've made Kyoko more endearing. We're projecting high school people onto high school students, so that's good. I think that's a sign of engagement, right? That if we're, you know, empathizing and, you know, being in the character's mind, that's great, right? Good engagement, yay!
Oh, fuck this bitch. She clearly did this on purpose.
What?
You suck ass. Push her! Punch her! You remind me of
Break her
juror
knee.
number 72. Oh my god.
Break her knee, so she's like Ryuji.
Oh.
Wow. Fucking wow. No, you didn't screw it up. That girl's a bitch. Yo, no, that coach was absolutely crazy. She, so that conversation, quote, conversation happened. And then there was another, one of the invitationals that I had qualified for, and also part with the relay team, that was on like a Tuesday. And we had a band concert on that same Tuesday. And on the one hand, this is supposed to be like, I'd heard so many stories about this invitational. Like, it's like one of like the most fun events to go to. And I really wanted to go, but I was like, we have a band concert that night, and one, that's part of my grade, and two, it's like, I enjoyed music way more than I ever enjoyed track. So I was like, that sucks I can't go to this invitational, but like, it is what it is. And so when the coach was like asking for permission slips for everybody to get on the bus and go to this invitational, I didn't have one because I didn't bother bringing it home. So I was like, I can't go to it. I got the band concert. And she like flipped her shit. And she was like, you qualify. Where's your slip? And I was like, I have a concert that night. It's part of my grade. I have to go. Like, track is an extracurricular. I need to do the thing that impacts my grade. So, oh yes, see, Sassy knows the coach. So 2 days later, the band director in the morning, like, sees me in the hall. I was like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? I was like, sure. Pulls me into his office and closes the door. And Sassy knows, like, that's not a thing he does. Like, unless, like, a student requests it. And I'm like, what is happening? And he closes the door, he's like, so the principal called me. And I'm already like, what the fuck? And he's like, the principal called me. I understand that you have a track meet that is more important than the concert we have on this date. And I went, no. Absolutely not. I was like, here is the conversation that happened. I know the coach was mad about it. But I didn't, like, I would much rather do the concert than the event. Because, like, again, this is part of my grade, but also it's like, I like this more. And, like, he was silent for a minute, looked at me, he's like, are you sure? I was like, absolutely. I was like, I don't know what conversation happened between her and the principal. I don't know what conversation happened between the principal and you. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to the concert and the coach just has to deal with it. This was not a thing I asked for. It's not a thing I want. And I hope that at this point you do know me well enough to know that I am being honest when I say that. He was like, okay. He's like, I believe you. I appreciate that. He's like, the principal was very insistent that I do not dock your grade for not going to an evening event, and that if you were to go to the track meet, I couldn't hold that against you. I was like, now I really want to know what that conversation was between the coach and the principal, but absolutely not. No, I will be at the concert. So I go to track practice that same day, and the coach is like, okay, so when we go to this invitational, like, here's what the relay team is. I was like, no, I'm not going to be there. And she's like, no, I talked to the principal about this. And I went, I know. I'm not going to the meet. I'm doing the concert. That was my first obligation. It is the most relevant obligation to my intended future. I'm going to that.
Man, I'm getting flashbacks of the assistant DA and juror, like 13. like no. That's not what I said. You took one or two words that were different. If that's the question you want to ask, that's fine. That is not what I said.
That is not what I said. I need to say this out loud. I hate both of these options because both of these things are terrible. No, you're not outmatched. I'm not going to say she's amazing. Both of these are awful. What the fuck? Why is there no she just sucks option? Why is that not an option here? Which James, I am legitimately asking you, which answer is less awful as far as the game's interpretation goes?
You know, I honestly don't remember because I don't think either of them are going to give you notes either way.
Okay. God, I'll do this one, I guess. Maybe it'll just fire her up. Yeah, and Ashley, that's a good point. Going back to that story. At that time, I was like, I'm going into music. Of course I'm going to do the music thing. I know I am not competition level for fucking track. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go do the music thing because that's what my current intended career path is. Anyways, so the coach, like, lost her shit. And so for practice that day, subbed me out of everything I had qualified for, which, like, makes sense, but at that point moved me to JV. She took me off of varsity and didn't let me compete. Like, the actual next, like, track meet we had did not let me compete for points for anything. So I didn't do track senior year. That was junior year, and I was like, she had a vendetta against me at that point. Because I made a choice, and the choice wasn't that. And so, like, she took me off of everything. And so I was like, cool, I'm not having this fight. I'm just not doing it. So I didn't do track my senior year because of that. So.
What lovely people.
Sassy, yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah, she sucked ass. I still think about her. Sometimes she pops into my head, and I'm just like, you fucking bitch. I was like, especially because, like, it was so weird. She was, like, just the track coach. She wasn't like one of the school teachers or anything also doing track. Like, she was somebody the school had hired just to be the track and field coach. And God, she took it way too fucking seriously. So that was a thing that happened. It was not great. Sassy says to do this one. Okay. I don't know why. Oh, what?
Oh, wow.
What?
I don't remember. I guess in 4 playthroughs, I've never picked that because I'm like, I would never say that. Even in like a meta, like I'm just trying to maximize points, I would still never bring myself to say that.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, she's amazing, huh? Like, her ability to fucking manipulate a situation is amazing, not in a positive way, but it is impressive. Thank you, Sassy. Anyways, yeah, I was always like a very good student, and I mean that in both like I did all my work and blah, 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 but I also, like, tried to, like, I didn't try to, like, suck up to the teachers, but, like, if something was asked of me, I tried to do it. And tried to be amicable and all that stuff. I think that was the first time that an authority figure had been like, do this, and I was like, no. That doesn't make any sense. And God, my anxiety was through the roof, and I definitely stress cried during the entire conversation. But I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense, and this is wrong and not okay, and I'm not gonna do that. No. So, anyways. Fucking God. You didn't ruin the shoot. The shoot's fine. She sucks.
Yeah,
she's gonna obsess about her quinoa and her hard water, and you're gonna go eat fucking cream-filled crepes and still look like that. So you're good.
You are winning.
Yeah. God. Yeah, I don't feel like... Here's the thing, is like, who's gonna... This coach was one of those things that, like, she clearly had favorites, and if you weren't one of the favorites, nobody listened to you. Because they're like, oh, you're just... Like, if you weren't one of the favorites, you were JV. You weren't put on the varsity team. And, of course, like, JV people complaining, it's like, well, you're complaining because you're not on varsity. Like, it was very easy to dismiss that. Because she treated the varsity people fucking great. And when she didn't treat you great, then you were put back on JV. So... Yeah, she was not great. I think at like 3 or 4 years after I graduated, I think she was not fired, but not brought back for the next season, I think is how that was said.
Well, that's just saying fired with more words.
Yeah.
That's like, I didn't fire one of my direct ports, I just stopped paying them. And asking them to come in.
Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, it's like, there was a specific track season. We didn't, like, have, like, off-season training and all of that kind of stuff. So it was just, like, she started working in January and would work through May. And then that was it. And so it was just like, oh, next January, am I starting again? It's like, yeah, okay, now here's your contract for the next year. And I think they were just like, we just gave the contract to somebody else. So, like, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand. God. Anyways. She was something. Talk back to literally one teacher as my chemistry teacher, and then he was my physics teacher. I remember that dude! Because Sassy effectively went to a different high school than I did. She was at the same one as me for freshman year, and then the rest of the low fam moved while I was already in college. So by the time she got to chemistry, she was at a different school. Because if you had still been at my high school, dude, the chemistry teacher there was so fucking dope. He was like, I wanted to be in music. I knew that, but I still took AP chemistry my senior year because that teacher was incredible. And then it set me on, who knew that was going to end up being my path eventually. The chemistry teacher at that high school was fucking brilliant. And so much fun. And I'm sad you did not get to have her as your teacher.
I had a interesting high school gym teacher.
Oh, I got a robot, James.
Blurk. Blurk, 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 blurk. Need motor oil. Blurk, blurk.
Your blurks came through. You're good now.
Okay. So our phys ed teacher was also our vice principal. So interesting mix. And he was let's say he was very old school. Like he was around when the school first opened, and I think he was there the day it closed.
Oh, wow.
He was also the wrestling coach. And one of the things, so like in the fall we would do like...
The This ability is incredible.
Crocodile tears.
Mechanically, how does this work? Like, because I've never had, I don't think any of them ask me for anything. What does this mean?
I think it's for, in a situation where you're ambushed and one of your party members gets knocked down, they can actually, like, abduct them, and then you have to, like, ransom your
What?
Yeah.
That's wild!
Yeah, so don't get ambushed.
Jesus! Okay, before I was like, an ambush is inconvenient, but whatever. Okay, now I'm actually worried about it. You may continue your story.
Yep. So anyway, like in the fall we would do like football and soccer co-ed. In the spring we would do volleyball and kickball co-ed. But during the winter when we had to be inside, since he was the wrestling coach, he had all the men do wrestling. And the girls in our class got to do like yoga and Pilates and other things like that. But he was always very like laissez-faire with the wrestling, because in his mind it's like, like I want the kids to like kind of like work it out on the mat, to like not like get into fights in like during school time. And the thing, like a lot of the like underclassmen who were in it, they're like, oh James, you must hate it, because to underclassmen, I was a big Lord of the Rings nerd who played D&D back when it was 2nd edition, when it was really super uncool. And they're like, oh man, you're going to get just like they're just going to gang up on you in wrestling. And here's the thing. Most of the guys in our school were very, let's call it, they were very homophobic. So like wrestling was not anything they were remotely interested in.
I'm going to interrupt quickly.
Yeah.
Do I need to continue this politician bullshit?
No, you don't have. Honestly, I don't remember where it ended.
It ended with him saying like, "Hey, do you want to work for me? You can't actually work for me. You can hold the sign." And then we had a conversation about his speech. As far as I can tell, I got nothing out of it.
Okay, I think you need to go on Sunday evenings to his speech.
Okay, all right, so I don't need to do that right now. So
yeah, you don't need to do that right now.
What is there a recommended activity I should do right now?
You could either study or just talk to Sojiro, because I know you're not going to advance it, but the next time you do, you probably will.
Should I make coffee?
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Okay.
Good time right
So anyway, they're like, oh, you must hate wrestling. I'm like, well, most of the guys like who would bully me are homophobic and hate wrestling, because the idea of two men, in wrestling just offends them greatly. And a lot of people didn't know I'm a martial artist, so kind of nimble in those kind of situations. And so the situation where it is set up for like the nerd to not have a good time because everyone can like legally beat you up in wrestling was my opportunity to take down the people who tried to make my high school life a living hell by just playing to their own fears and indifference and just walloping them. And it was so like, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed wrestling. Like when wrestling would come around, I get really excited. They were very like, oh no, and just make it as uncomfortable as possible for them. So I'd like the reversal of the narrative that it brought.
That is incredible. It's giving me an opportunity to give him a gift. I'm getting Danganronpa vibes of being bad at this shit right now. Is this like Danganronpa, where like certain things should go to certain people? Or even Stardew Valley, like certain things should go to certain people? Do I want to give him anything? Do I care?
So here's the thing. You can't not give him something, so you have to give him something.
What?
There's no penalty for doing it, but there are certain things that they respond better to.
What do you mean I have to give him something? What if I didn't have anything?
Then it would just skip right over it.
Okay, there's a back button.
Okay.
So I don't have to give him anything.
I've honestly never tried, because I just figure, well, it's at least one point, even if they're not a big fan of it.
So I only have 2 things right now. Is it worth giving him one of these things, or should I just say, you know what, fuck it, and back out and save these for somebody else?
you could probably give him the omnivitamin because the person that matches to you have a pretty high social stat that you need to clear first, so it's going to be a bit.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I feel like giving him vitamins is weird, but yeah, she's not happy about it.
But you get a point.
Okay.
Thanks.
If someone walked up to me and just handed me vitamins, I would be like, okay.
Don't worry, they're in a Ziploc bag, and they told you to crush them up and snort them. It's
I'm wearing
fine.
sweatpants. I'm ready for jury duty.
Perfect.
God, whoops. I like that I sleep with my phone in my pocket. Yeah, he's gonna get us in trouble. Wait, go with him. Where's he going? What's he doing? No, what? Yes, it could. What?
It's a tutorial.
I can't. What? No.
Yes. Hey, you know, while you're enjoying your tutorial, I need to step away for 2 minutes.
Okay, do
But
I want to?
enjoy your-
I assume I want to accept this, though.
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you. You go do the thing, and then we'll talk about D&D when you get back. Thank you, Liz. Yeah, sure, we'll fucking go. Commit. Let's go. Cool. I mean, it's got little, like, palm tree flower things. Oh, it's the fashion capital! Fuck yeah! Known for starting many trends in food. Oh, shit. Me, Jen, interested in this.
All right.
Yay, food. I want ramen, man. I haven't had ramen in many, many weeks. I think the last time I had ramen was sometime in January? I'd have to look and see when Jeff was traveling.
Hi.
God, his hair looks so bright here. Yeah, whenever Jeff was last traveling, because there was a day where he was traveling and I was down at Turbodork, and then there was a facilities malfunction where we're like, we have to call it an early day. And I was like, well, it's noon and I haven't had lunch yet. So it's like, and I drive past a ramen place. And I was like, I'm getting ramen for lunch. Fuck yeah, let's go. And so that was the last time I'd had it. And it had been months before that. So I was like, but that was the last thing I had. Shit, now I want it.
Well, I just came back to the talk of ramen, and now I want it.
I technically,
Thanks.
I work from home tomorrow. Maybe I'll go get ramen tomorrow.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll do that. I always feel weird getting ramen when it's warm out though, and I think it's supposed to be hot as fuck. Hey Google, what's the forecast for tomorrow? Let's all find out together. A high of 82. Oh boy, maybe I'm not gonna get ramen. That might be a lot.
No, do it. You should eat hot things on a hot day because it makes your body sweat, and that's what cools your body down.
Yes,
That's why.
I want to go get sweaty.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
eat my
that's
ramen.
that's why the spiciest spices and the spiciest food are all around the equator, because it was a way of keeping those people cool in the heat before air conditioning.
I didn't think about everybody else's Google devices. I'm so sorry. Hey, what's everyone else's weather for tomorrow? Oh, man.
Hey Google, buy napkins.
Oh, man. God. Anyways. James, let's talk about D&D.
Let's talk about D&D.
Have you read... So right now, the 1 D&D, which is still a stupid fucking name, playtest for Druids and Paladins is out. Have you looked at it?
I was trying to think of a snarky way of saying no, because I've been in 27 meetings in 3 days.
Fair.
But
God, that's such a gross number you just said.
it is a gross number. It's very orange. But in lieu of something snarky, I'm just going to say no. I have not.
Processed that. My brain stopped and it was like, something's wrong with what he just said. Oh, good night, Sassy.
Good night,
Okay.
Sassy.
So you have not had a chance to read it. It's been
I-
out for like a little bit, because this was actually on my list for last week, but also I know you've been in meetings fucking constantly for the last several weeks, so. So, I've seen rumblings that the Paladin is also not great. I focused on the druid because it was the thing I knew enough about to identify what was fucking wrong with it. So let me give you the overview of what has changed before I get into all the what the fuck about it. They have nerfed druids drastically.
Oh, because they were this amazing powerhouse before.
They kind of were. They were kind of a ridiculous powerhouse. So here are the things that have changed. Is you no longer, like, wild shape into a specific animal and get the stats of that specific animal. There is one stat block for all land animals. There is one stat block for all sea animals and one stat block for all flying animals. So
they must have seen my Friday game where our druid turned into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, so you can still turn into those things, but like, because here's the problem, is like you could turn into a T-Rex or you could turn into a wolf. Those two creatures will have the same stats.
Yeah. You turn into a T-Rex, but it still has to use its arms to attack.
Yeah, it's kind of what it feels like. So that's thing number one. So literally you could turn into a monkey and it will have the same stats as a fucking bear. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. And I get that, like, a lot of what 1D&D is trying to do is simplify things to make it more accessible to somebody who hasn't played the game before. Be like, cool, you don't have to juggle all these things, because I will admit, I won't play a druid because I'm like, there's too many things. But I recognize that's part of the draw of playing a druid, is that level of creativity of getting to do all of these things. Like, I'm going to turn into a bear so I get these things, and I'm going to turn into a spider so I get these things, and whatever. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, you don't have, and I agree this does need to be in 5e, it's too fucking powerful. You no longer have a separate hit point pool. So, like, the way it is right now, you turn into a bear has whatever the fuck number of hit points. And so that form takes damage, and when that drops to 0, you revert to your regular-ass druid form, and whatever damage was left over carries over, and now you're in your druid hit point pool. So you can, like, buy yourself a lot of extra HP. Mm-hmm. That's no longer a thing. Your HP is your HP. And, like, on the one hand, I do agree that does need to be adjusted somehow. I don't think I like it like this. I feel like that swings too hard the other direction, but whatever. So now there's that. There is also the restriction that until, I think it was like level 11, you can't turn into a tiny creature. So, like, a level 4 druid can't be like, I turn into a rat or a spider. You can only turn into big things.
Huh.
And I'm like, that seems really stupid. They're like, I could turn into a T-Rex, but I can't turn into a mouse? What? So that's fucked up. In the current go ahead.
Could you turn into a medium-sized creature that is just a pile of mice in the form of a medium-shaped creature?
Like, you can turn into a giant rat. You can turn into that, but you can't turn into a regular rat. And I was like, that feels weird and broken. But also, at the same time, if you turn into a regular rat or a giant rat, they will have the same stats. Which is also just fucked up and weird.
So do you feel like the fact that they're doing that to smaller, tiny creatures is to negate the fact that because there's a flat stat block now that you don't have a spider that can hit with the strength of a bear, or are they trying to nerf a druid's ability of bypassing environmental difficulties by turning into something small, like crawling under a door?
I feel like it's that. They're just like, oh, it's too powerful if somebody can just get tiny to squeeze into something. I feel like that's what's happening. So there's that. There is also that, like, currently, again, like, if I were to turn in 5e, if I were to turn into a spider has a climbing speed. And, like, that's just inherent as part of the thing. Like, right now, the restriction is, like, you can turn into stuff, but you don't get... Like, you get a flying speed at a particular level, and you get a swim speed at a particular level. And I don't know what those levels are, because, again, I have not played a druid. But that's the way current works. So it's like... and so if you turn into a land thing, you might have a burrowing speed, you might have a climbing speed, you have these things, and as long as you're contacting solid surface, it's a thing that is valid. You just can't turn into a flying thing, can't turn into a water thing until you get to those appropriate levels. The way the new one is, you don't get a climbing speed until a particular level. So you can't turn into a thing that climbs until, like, 7th level or whatever the fuck. So it's like, you can be a land animal, and then you can be a land animal that climbs, and then you can be something that flies, and then you can be something that swims, and then you can be something that's tiny. Like,
well,
it's fucking insane.
Like, I know I'm preaching to the choir on this, but, like, on the one hand, I understand that they're trying to not give, I don't want to say unintended benefits to being a druid, but I look at the stuff that a druid has currently is similar to, like, how a wizard can prepare spells. That if you're going to take the time and effort to learn this class and all of the nuance, the intricacies, and all of the planning and the mental gymnastics to do it, if you properly prepare a spell that just so happens to work in a perfect situation, you get that benefit because of your forethought, your planning, all of that. It should be the same thing with the druid. Like, the different wild shapes is like a wizard preparing their spells. If you have the forethought and the creativity to do that, then you should be rewarded for it.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. I feel like what they did is they took all the things that were OP about a druid. Because, like, a level 20 druid, like, you can't kill. They have an infinite hit point pool because they can wild shape however many times they want. So it's like, you have to kill whatever animal form they're in and all of their regular HP in one hit, or they will just wild shape into something else and get a fresh HP pool all over again. So I get that, like, that needed to be dealt with. And I get that, like, the HP thing was fucking wild. And then also, like, the other thing is, like, in a current form of druids, you retain your other class abilities. So if you multi-classed, let's say into a barbarian, you could turn into a bear and then you can rage, which is dope as hell, but also very powerful.
It's a cocaine bear.
It is a cocaine bear. And they removed that ability as well. You cannot retain any of your class abilities. They did, the one change that I love is they gave them, you can retain your ability to speak, which is not a thing current druids get.
That's true.
So I love the idea of turning into a bear and being able to still have a fucking conversation with everybody. I love that. But everything else, like, they nerfed so many things so hard that I'm like, there is no reason to play a druid anymore. Like, everything's just been completely nerfed a little bit. And I saw Liz make a comment about, like, how much did keyfish impact these nerfs? I'm not going to explain what keyfish means to anybody who doesn't know, because it is... I don't want to spoil a thing somebody might be getting to in one of the D&D culture things. And that's the most I'm going to say about that. What I will say is I don't think that impacted shit, because none of these things they got rid of helped in that situation. None of it mattered. None of it mattered. That character fucking died. So I don't think it had anything to do with anything. But yeah, I was like, level 20 druids, OP. Regular druids, because of how the hit point pool things, OP. Like, I get it. Something needed to change, but man, they just, like, they sucked all the flavor out of it. And, like, and have made it very an inconvenient class to play. It's like, you don't get any of the, like, the fun shit. There's no good reason to multi-class, other than the fact that they took all the good shit out of Druid and you need to be able to do other things. I was just like, ugh.
you're playing a druid for all of the fun fantasy aspects of it, and Wizards gave you a Nature Valley bar that's not flavored, right?
Yeah!
Oh.
And it's very crumbly. And you're just like, this made a mess and I didn't get anything out of it. Like the fact that they like, there's so many things that have come up in the 1D&D playtest material they've released where I'm like, what the actual fuck is happening? Like, when they turned Spiritual Weapon for Clerics into a concentration spell.
Ugh.
No one's gonna do that. That spell will never be cast again.
Nope.
Now. So, like, there's some stuff where I'm like, what the fuck happened? And they just did that to the entire Druid class. And it was almost impressive, but, like, just flat out upsetting. So, like, I know something else changed in the Paladin stuff where people were like, oh my god, they nerfed Smite. I don't know enough about Paladins to have understood what happened to Smite. But I was like, I read all this Druid stuff, and I was like, this is buck fucking wild. Like, does no one on this development team play D&D? Like, what's going on?
Well, maybe they nerfed Druids so hard that they have to nerf everything else to make everything bland and unplayable.
God.
Like, oh, wow, everything is so bad. Let's go back to Pathfinder. Or Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, I made Ryuji very happy.
Yeah, Ryuji's a big Vampire the Masquerade. He's very Malkavian.
Incredible. I did just say I would wear a full, like, black trench coat in the summer, so that does feel very VTM to me, knowing nothing else about it. I was like, if I was a vampire and had to be outside, yeah, that's what I'm gonna wear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild, and that's a shame because Druid is one of those classes that I haven't played in a very long time, but I've enjoyed. I have fond memories of the, like, mini campaign I played as a Druid.
I like the idea of a Druid, but I just got so overwhelmed so quickly by, like, all the things that I would need to keep track of, and I was just like, nah, Wizard's the top of keeping track of shit for me. I'm good.
Oh, now see, like, if you think Wizard is the pinnacle, you need to go into Conjuration Wizard, where you're, like, pulling elementals left and right and summon creatures and looking at all of their stat blocks and...
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, like Axe says, I was like, I've got my 5e stuff, I'm good. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna be curious about the changes they make in whatever the final version of whatever the 6th edition is, but it's like, I like my thing. I'm gonna be the old geezer going, get off my lawn with your new fucking books. And it's like, I like this version, I'm gonna stick with it.
Oh, you sound like me in 3rd edition. But yeah, 4th edition was an abomination. So yeah, I'm just glad that D&D is creating that same experience for you, so that we can commiserate over just how bad an even-numbered edition.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, there's a weird pattern being established here.
Like, I think they even knew that even-numbered editions do poorly, so like, no, we're gonna call it 1. We'll trick them all.
Trying to trick the system. Oh man. Oh, we're talking about Shadowrun in the chat. I played in a Shadowrun campaign for a little bit. We only got like 3 or 4 sessions in, and then it just fell apart. Like, it was just like scheduling became a nightmare, and it just kind of faded into the background. But I did try Shadowrun for a little bit. I liked the idea of it. I think part of my issue with it was the people I was trying to play it with. I think is the best way to evaluate that one.
Pathos, you take that slander out of here right now. It was that bad. It was that bad.
Are we suddenly, like, fucking doing a makeover episode? Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh.
I like the realization that Mishima is the only one who doesn't understand Morgana.
Yes, it was perfect. I'm afraid for the day he does suddenly start understanding Morgana, and, like, that's not a good sign when that happens.
Uh-oh, he's been hanging out with us too much.
Oh, we don't actually get to see me in a bunch of outfits? I wish I had walked in that door wearing something completely different.
You walk in wearing one of your DLC costumes.
That would have been so good. That was a missed opportunity. I am upset now. On the phone's
I'm
going
sorry.
pee-pee.
Hey, Yusuke, any changes with Madarame while we were doing a makeover?
We had a little kind of like sort of beach episode. How are you doing? Oof. Big oof.
He's just lying in bed saying, I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
sorry. And,
that's-
and you've made him do that for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I really liked your image that you used in your retweet.
Oh, thank you. Not all of them can be gems, but my goal is to not repeat a meme image. So, like, let me look at my Persona folder on my phone right now. Oh, this will be a good game for chat. Chat. How many photos are in my Persona album? Specifically for Twitter. I download images specifically so I can tweet out a meme every week for our stream.
Okay. I'm gonna make a guess.
Yeah.
And then I want to address something I saw in the chat. I'm gonna guess that you also have some extras in there because you want to see like what shit I say or also know where we are in the game. I'm gonna go with this folder has 76 images in it.
Okay.
I'm going with 76.
Okay. Now people started guessing.
Wow.
I did not say Price is Right rules, so I am not going to enforce Price is Right
Okay.
rules. I will take closest to the pin.
Yeah. I will say I saw somebody make a comment about like, do the people who run Wizards even understanding D&D? The guy that's currently in charge, like I think it's like the CEO or something like of that division of things, literally is on record as saying he does not play D&D. He says he feels like he understands D&D because he plays games like World of Warcraft, and he's like it's the same thing in his head. That's a thing he has said. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the reason we've seen a lot of things we have over the last even just few months, is that you have somebody who's approaching D&D as if it's a video game. And not somebody who understands that it is something that doesn't have a set plot. And that's the guy in charge of things. And that is becoming more and more evident. So, people think you have a lot of things in this folder, and my 76 feels now really low. I figured you probably had, like, a reasonable number for, potentially the number of streams we had. So I went with that, and now I'm seeing the rest of these, and I'm like, maybe I was low.
All right. So I am closing the guessing.
Okay.
Pathos was the closest.
What did Pathos say?
258.
Whoa!
I have 213 images in my Persona folder right now.
Oh my god! That's many.
So,
Are they organized in any kind of particular way?
No.
Oh, it's
They're
just
organized-
a fold. It's just the Wild West in there.
It is a folder of. They're in chronological order in which I've found them on the internet.
Oh my god. Fucking wow.
But you know what? I have a lot of good ones that are literally going to take months for us to see.
I mean, I'm impressed at your organization and preparing and planning.
I have a Persona roadmap for you, Jen, whether you like it or not.
Jesus, also fair, and I'm proud of you for doing that because that can kind of suck, and I'm glad you stood up for yourself and were like, no, fuck you, and I brought fucking receipts.
I did. I always bring receipts.
God. All right. I have messages. What the fuck? Oh, is this the beef bowl place?
It is the beef bowl place. We're short-staffed. No one is here today.
God. Okay. So my proficiency would go up. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you recognize we just saw each other. No, I'm not gonna go to a fucking movie right now. Wait, okay, I need to know what that means, though.
It's... I would go see it.
Yeah, I should click yes on this?
The movies they show in Persona 5 are They are masterpieces of writing, unlike
Okay.
everything else that you've experienced thus far.
Because it is a Sunday, you told me I needed to go see Politician Man on a Sunday.
You know what? I did. It's worth going to see Cake Night Rises.
All right, we'll go see this, and then maybe we'll save and call it.
Well, there's always
Oh, Robot James.
blurk.
I love that I by the time I'm able to call Robot James, I feel like it's on its tail end. So when you make your random noises, those come through perfectly, and it always makes me very happy.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but Justin's oldest daughter, now that she's in elementary school, she takes Spanish once a week, and she's learning the days of the week in Spanish. And the way, I don't know if this is the actual melody to. Here, I'll let the scene go.
You wanna know why I use pies? Cakes are too quick. You can't savor all the little taste sensations. You see, when forced to choose cake or pie, people show you their true taste. I am nothing like you. You're a psychopath who bakes for money.
Very important question, Team Cake or Team Pie?
Cake.
That was the correct answer. Good job. Chat, what about you? I did already tell you what the right answer is. It's always Team Cake, because if it's a pie, my philosophy is, a pie, you don't know what you're gonna get. If somebody's like, do you want a piece of cake or do you want a piece of pie? And you know no other information, cake is always the safest choice. Pie, are they gonna bring you a fucking meat pie? You don't know. Is it fruit? Is it custard? Is it a meringue? Is it fucking turkey? You don't know. Cake, always fucking great. Anyways.
Banana, we went over this. Most people are risk adverse by nature.
Yeah. I'm definitely, okay, I feel like I've talked about this on stream many times before. I'm gonna say it again. I am not a gambler by any fucking means. I went to Vegas once to visit a friend. We didn't go to Vegas to go to Vegas, but we're like, we should pop in, like, we should just be like, oh, we gambled in Vegas. I turned $3 into $21 and I tapped out. I was like, that's it. I'm technically up in Vegas. I'm leaving. I'm done.
There you go. Yeah, and you can say you left Vegas richer than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am not a gambler. I am not a risk person. So if you're just like cake or pie, I will fucking pick cake. There was a friend of mine for their bachelorette party. They didn't want to like go out and do anything fucking buck wild. They wanted to just do like a night in. So we did one of those PowerPoint presentation parties where you just picked whatever fucking topic you wanted and you had 3 minutes to get through it. And if you like went over time, you had to like fucking chug something or whatever. And there were all kinds of other like drinking rules for it and everything. My presentation for that party was cake versus pie.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted you to do it because I thought the Batman reference was really funny from a baking perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
And let me tell you, if you have an opportunity to go to the movies, do,
Always
because
take
they're
it.
they're all punny like that.
Incredible. I didn't expect it to be like voice acted and shit. That was incredible.
Yeah, no, Ray Chase did both voices in that, and I can only imagine it was just like voice directors like, just have fun with it.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't trust anyone who bakes for money.
Oh man.
But yeah, you know what? Oh.
God. Oh, we gotta go to the park thing. What were you gonna say, James?
I was just gonna say, like, you made it pretty far, and I was about to say, like, oh, like, we made it so far. I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna get a chance to save before the cleanup, so we might have to just muscle through it.
God fucking damn it.
It's alright, we could talk about paladins.
I mean, I don't have anything to say about the new stuff for paladins, because I didn't,
Sorry,
oh
but I'm in a
no.
bit of a hurry.
God, okay, what are you fucking doing? Who are you talking to?
You go to Shujin, right?
Ew. What does this mean?
Yep.
He's labeled slimy middle-aged man, so I already have bad vibes.
You know, I hope AR gets to a point where, like, titles above people's heads, like, appear, and I can see, like, slimy middle-aged man. I'm like, ugh, I'm just gonna steer clear of you, sir.
That would be incredible.
I heard things have been rough there lately. What with that violent incident? You want to go talk about it somewhere?
No.
Athos,
Thank you
yes,
for
that
your
video will
concern.
always live in my head too.
It's a very. I haven't watched the Joe Cat videos in forever, and I feel like I just need to go do that now.
However, I really am in a hurry, so if you'd excuse me.
God, being way too polite to him. Oh, nope! Absolutely the fuck not.
Come on, there's no need to be shy.
Oh, someone is going to die today.
Yeah, okay, I do like that at least there are some other people looking now who weren't before.
Like I said,
If you're busy, I'll put my number in your phone so you can call me later.
I have had an interaction
Sound like a
exactly
plan?
like this, so
Oh, no.
I am not happy about this right now.
stop it.
God. In college, I was at a house party, and there was somebody who was like, hey, let's talk about this thing. I was like, I really don't want to, and I tried to leave, and I was physically cornered, and the only way I could get them to let me leave that corner, is I eventually agreed to let him give me his number, and he wrote it on my arm in Sharpie, and that was the compromise, and I was like, this feels like the least awful way to get out of here. And I was pretty happy with that outcome, all things considered. And so I managed to get out of there with that, got back to my dorm, was having like a little mini meltdown with my roommate, and my boyfriend at the time came to like pop in, because like it was like a band house party, and he was not in any of the music school stuff. So he wasn't there, and so he comes in and is like, hey, what's going on? And he sees there being a phone number on my arm and loses his fucking mind that I went to a party and was picking up numbers and whatever. So anyways, we broke up that night.
I don't blame you.
There was a lot that happened that evening. But yeah, I tried to leave the corner and I got grabbed like this, and I was like, fight or flight is happening. And at that point, I was like, I've had enough to drink that fight is not going to work well for me. So I need to try to use the skills I can to be like, distract him enough and just figure out like what is going to appease him without me leaving this spot. So I was like, if he makes me try to go anywhere, this is going to end up really bad.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Well, I am sorry you had that experience.
it's fine. It turned out fine. But yeah, that's why I'm like, this right here, I'm just like, here's the thing is this man is wearing glasses. If this dude had been, like, if you punch right in the middle, they're gonna break, and there's so many things that are gonna go wrong right here. So like, you don't actually have to do a lot in this scenario. So I'm like, you got this is gonna be fine. But I'm already on probation for this exact situation as the protagonist in this game, and I am worried as the game player.
You want to know how I became a felon?
Yeah.
What do you want?
God. Yeah, I got a shoot and chew. I want to talk about it. And Flash,
like-
no, because he technically didn't do anything. So.
Would you like my number?
Yeah.
What are you getting so jumpy about? Like you're anything special.
Oh, man.
I tricked his brain. Hey, what are you? Hey,
Thank you so
what gets
much.
wetter as it dries?
sorry
Wait,
for the
what? And we're gone.
Oh, we're getting voice acting now.
Yeah, this is all voice acted.
I guess what
Yes,
has been voice
I'm
acted.
fine now.
I just like I was like, oh, we're clearly out of that part now. It's like, oh no, we're still going.
Was pretty scary though. May I ask you something?
Sure, I don't think I get an opportunity to say no.
So, what made you step in to help me?
My programming.
I see.
I couldn't let injustice stand.
I apologize for asking something so strange. You're headed to the cleanup as well, right?
I like that you just went. I like that you just went to see the Batman movie the day before, and you're like, I'm filled with justice.
Exactly. I feel like I need to look up who her voice actor is. There's something I feel like is familiar about this voice, but I can't place it.
The
And
cleanup.
I don't
Laura
know if I'm
Post.
imagining it or not.
Her name, her voice actor is Laura Post.
I'm gonna have to look up what other stuff they voice.
It's
Like
everything.
Okay.
She is in so many things.
Okay.
Look at the time. I'm so sorry sorry. I haven't even thanked you properly
I
yet.
feel like you did, but
Oh, no.
okay.
I forgot my gym clothes at school. I'll see you at the cleanup, so we can talk more then if you'd like.
For being in a hurry, she's walking
Pardon me.
very leisurely.
Don't worry, I come here often to hold up signs for politicians. Yeah. No, but that's. No, you know what? We're trying to end this. We'll let the voice cutscene do its thing.
Okay.
Did you really come here from home in your gym clothes?
Is that weird?
No, that's not what I meant.
Like, where are you gonna
Sure
fucking
sounded like it.
change on?
See that bush over your right shoulder?
And, are you planning on doing this cleanup in that outfit?
Of course not. I brought my gym clothes with me. I was gonna change in the bathroom, but now there's a huge line.
Yeah, and you're talking like we're the idiots for avoiding that.
Oh, that makes sense. Sounds like it sucks to be a girl.
Fair, but for different reasons.
It's such a nice day out that even the weather seems to be mocking us.
What do you mean? You get to spend the day outside. What do you mean it's mocking you?
Dude, could you try pushing your way into our conversation a little less awkwardly next time?
I bet some Kichi Joji clean freak hung paper dolls all over and prayed for clear skies today.
It's going to ignore you, Ryuji. I'm going to say my piece.
What are you doing here? No! I don't like you still.
Morning, everyone. Huh? Are you here for the cleanup too, Doc?
You got it.
I didn't hear him say doc. I heard him say dog. It's like,
What's
oh,
up,
you here
dog?
too, dog?
What's up, dog?
In those clothes?
I like the sandals. That seems very safe and effective.
Mm-hmm.
Farrah, no, calm down. Where's the spray bottle?
Oh, no. I'm in a different...
There you are, Dr. Maruki.
Oh,
We're
they
going
think
to
they're
start pumping
deers.
soon.
They were
Pumping what?
fawning. No?
Oh,
Okay.
God, James, no.
I'm
Sorry.
part of the cooking crew. Hope you're looking forward to a solid meal. See you all later. I can't remember.
I'm going to walk
if I
right through your
brought this-
conversation.
I just like how he just looked at
More
them.
like Dr. Popular.
I'm sure the Phantom Thieves will be even bigger someday.
We don't want to be, though. That's the problem. People can't know who we are. I don't know how to communicate this to you in a way that you will understand.
And the game won't let me say that to you.
Academy students and staff.
God. Oh,
You okay over there?
no.
All trash located in the areas assigned to your group. Once the cleanup is completed, a lunch of miso soup with pork
I don't
and
like the
vegetables will be
shorts.
served.
Yeah, I was about to say, but I was like, I don't know why I don't like the shorts. I feel like everyone should just be in pants. Just wear the pants.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, pork miso soup. So that's what Dr. Maruki's fan club is making.
FYI, the school already
Like, at least
assigned the groups at
Ryuji,
random.
like, rolled up
There are
his
4
long
people
pants.
apiece.
You know, like,
Yeah.
that looks
Boys and
better
girls
somehow.
mixed.
Oh, really?
Now that those announcements have been made, please break into your groups and head to your assigned areas.
All right, let's just get this over with as fast as possible so we can chow down on that soup and get out of here.
We skipped straight past lunch.
Yeah, skipped right past it.
That guy?
You got your giant barbecue tongs.
Right?
Yeah. You mean the one in all the crazy rumors?
Keep it down. What if he hears us?
Let's go stab you with my giant chopsticks.
Do you know what you could do with these giant tongs?
Anyone who just dumps a broken umbrella on the ground like this is human garbage.
Agreed.
Oh, before you trash it, you have to make sure you separate the plastic parts from the metal frame.
Separate it? How?
By just fucking ripping it off. Hulk out.
Like this.
Yeah.
Whoa, awesome!
I, had
I
no
eat
idea
5
you
crepes a
knew
day
that
and I can
kind of
still
stuff.
do this.
I bet you'd make a wonderful wife.
Oh, nah.
Sweet, a wallet.
anything in it?
Oh my god.
Whoa, yeah, shit ton.
We going splitsies on this?
Fucking hell.
Wait, shouldn't we take that to a police box? What? How was that weird? Man, this park is trash. No way this was all done by kids. It's gotta be the work of some no-good adults, too.
We're gonna make.
If you
They're-
don't mind, may I have the cap on that bottle?
Oh, I don't know what's happening here. Why do I not like your face? I feel like she looks like somebody. They also gave her different hair. So, like, they actually cared about her for some reason.
Ryan, it's a 5 head. It's not a 4 head.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a collector?
Not exactly.
You should have just said yes, now I have more questions.
Recycling companies collect these and convert them into vials for vaccines.
Huh, I didn't know that. Well, that
The more
sounds
you
like
know.
an awesome way to bring more justice to the world.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I follow you.
Oh my god, you're an idiot, too. The brain cell is not
Before
here.
I add taro to the pot, I have to rub them with salt to reduce the sliminess.
No one said anything weird about him rubbing anything.
Okay, I'm not gonna say
You're
anything.
an amazing chef.
I do cook pretty often at home.
Again,
Fine.
Adachi vibes! Anyways. Just, if you start throwing cabbages in there, whatever the fuck it was, we're gonna have a problem.
That's right. Oh, it's such a good memory. Way to go.
I hate that I do that.
I'm so proud of you, Jen.
I'm not, I'm upset.
Let me try this little technique here.
I don't know, stop. Oh my...
What the? Why is the wind salty?
This pasta's spicy too.
Oh, not the spicy pasta.
The wind is salty and the pasta is spicy.
Oh my god.
The cleanup is officially complete. Thank you for your hard work, everyone. Would the leader of each group please come and get the soup for their teams?
So,
Could you imagine carrying 4 bowls of soup by yourself?
That would be absurd, yeah.
Huh, including getting the hell out of here.
Oh, okay. Thank you for everything.
Just fucking leave me,
I don't
alright,
know the
great.
best way to put it, but it sure was a crappy time out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hello!
Welcome back.
finally found you.
It's nice to see you again, Ponytail.
I was trying to find you so I could thank you
a
properly
good
for this
nickname.
morning.
Thank you, I'm very proud of it.
So, where'd the other people in your group go?
They fucking bamfed.
I don't have a shower in the cafe I live in. I smell. That's why.
I see.
That's a good point! I hadn't realized that. Jesus. Do I just have to do like a shower bath? Oh, not a shower, a sink bath? Just like splash my underarms and call it a day? Fuck.
Well, I mean, how often have you gone to the bathhouse that's next door?
Never!
Oh, so you're probably pretty rank. What is it? It's been at least 2 months now.
God.
You should probably go there. You probably stink.
Probably. You told me to go on a rainy day, so I've just been waiting for it to be rainy.
I'm in pretty much
Man,
the same
drought season is
situation.
tough in Tokyo. You think California is bad? Jeez.
Why don't we eat our soup together?
What? Why is this even an option? It's like, why don't we eat it together? But this is soup, though. What is that? Sure, yes, let's do that.
Great.
Oh my god.
Was he thinking like you're gonna share the soup?
I don't
Like,
know, man. It's like you can't Lady and the Tramp some soup. What do you want?
Not with that attitude. You
And why'd
can't.
she say thank you? I didn't give her the soup. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Maybe you shared the soup. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe you shared the soup.
That man was even more frightening than he might have appeared to you. So I truly appreciate what you did for me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. There's one more issue I need to address.
No. No! Ashley and Farron. Someone banned both of them. Fuck no.
What? I can ban one of them.
Oh god, I'm getting flashbacks to fucking Extra Life. God.
I'm also so sorry for what happened the other day.
I legit do not remember what happened the other day. That was, at this point, weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, your
The
character
one we had outside
anticipated
of the
that.
guidance
Yeah.
office.
Remember the discussion
There
we
you
just
go.
had?
How's that?
Oh.
There are a number of
Yeah.
How's that
students
flashback for you,
involved with
Twitch
it.
streamer who doesn't play every day?
Thank you, game, for knowing I needed
This one's
this.
at the top of the list.
You know, honestly, like having played through Persona 3, 4, and 5, there have never been flashback. Maybe there was 1 or 2 flashbacks in Persona 4. Certainly none in Persona 3. I'm convinced that the flashbacks are here because they're thinking about streamers who play it maybe once a week.
Maybe.
So it might have legit been a month in real time since that event happened.
Just told me about you a moment prior, so I sort of spoke without thinking there. I heard some of my classmates gossiping about you too.
For real?
Yeah.
Hanging out with Ryuji too much.
If I had just called the doc dog, then that would for sure track.
No, nothing of the sort. I don't like gossip or rumors and the like. And I know this will sound strange since I just met you, but you don't seem like the kind of person they describe. It'd be a different story if all those rumors were actually true, though.
I mean, what are all the rumors? We can run down the list real quick.
What were all the crimes I'd heard? Burglary, murder, and
Okay.
elephant tusk trafficking, was it?
Okay, let's go with that one.
I was just trying to fix my grandmother's piano and it needed new ivory.
It's absurd, isn't it?
Yes.
Rumors can't be trusted at all, yet everyone starts shaking in their boots whenever they hear your name. You know what? It just hit me. I haven't introduced myself
I'm
yet.
glad. This is like the 4th conversation we've had.
I know my AR keeps calling you Yoshizawa.
Oh, I'm sorry to make you go first. I apologize this was such a long time coming, but I hope we can get along well. I believe you already learned from our meeting at school that my...
Oh god, the clown's gonna show up. How did she
What the
just
hell
fuck-
just
Yeah,
happened?
was she just fucking
Look.
yeeted herself into the air?
Yeet?
Got it, just in time.
Those are some fucking reflexes, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are. Don't let go of things you like, okay?
Oh god.
Ooh.
Sorry. I
There's
didn't mean
there's
to
some
run out on you like
implications in that sentence that I didn't like.
I'm sure it's fine.
So you drop this. I'm not gonna fucking psychic her.
I guess you sleuthed
You're gonna
me out
mind
before I
freak her?
Yeah.
Well, you've cracked the case. I'm Kasumi Yoshizawa, a first year.
Hey, look, her name updated. Yay!
Yay.
That's an achievement.
You mean that back there? Oh, it was just some basic gymnastics.
It was just some basic fucking leaping 10 feet in the air. No big deal.
It's
No,
not that difficult
no, I
once
thought
you
your
get the
name
hang
was
of it.
amazing.
Just
That was just.
skip and a jump.
Gymnastics, huh? Hey, don't you think some of those moves would be awfully useful?
Fucking cat, shut up!
I was just thinking about how the Phantom Thieves need to get some sweeter moves, too.
What's the matter, senpai?
Your cat's awfully noisy.
Are you
Wait,
keeping your cat
is
trapped in
there
a bag?
cat somewhere around here?
Oh,
The cat's sticking out of the bag! What do you mean?
she's very nearsighted.
Maybe.
Does that mean you're interested in gymnastics?
Sure.
That makes me so happy. I'd be honored if you'd allow me. The only problem is...
You look like you have no balance.
I have a favor to ask for myself as well.
Oh, no.
If you wouldn't mind.
Sure, what do you got?
Lately,
quid pro
I
quo.
haven't been getting the results I want from my performances, and I'm worried that I'm overthinking things.
I know this
It'd be
back alley
wonderful
doctor
if
that'll be
you could
perfect
give
for
me
you.
some advice whenever you
God,
have
I haven't
the
been
time.
there in forever. I feel, oh, it's because I needed more guts before I could do anything.
You need more guts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure I do. I'd love if you were willing to lend me an ear from time to time.
Sure, why not?
I see. This sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me.
Oh, the
What do you
thing's gonna
think?
happen, isn't it?
Thank
Is
you.
the thing gonna happen?
Then we've cut a deal.
It feels like it's gonna happen right here because she just said we cut a deal. There it is!
Yay! Oh, that was like the longest 10 seconds of my life. Like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything.
I hope she's like, you're clearly incredibly acrobatic. You must have had help from a trained athlete and gymnast or whatever the fuck.
Who's your trainer? I'd like to go to him or her.
I've read in the reports that the Phantom Thieves' physical
fucking
abilities
Christ.
are more acrobatic than the average person's. It seems you've gained an aptitude for specialty equipment as well.
Are you kidding me?
Wouldn't a natural conclusion to draw be that you were trained by an expert in that field?
Look, I feel like a lot of the times when I say that shit, and then the game immediately follows it up, I'm like, it feels very logical, and like, of course I said that. This one does feel a little spot on.
I'm telling you, Atlas watched you play Persona 4, and they retroactively wrote the game to fit it.
Tell me the
truth. Yeah, I made friends with Simone Biles, and just fucking...
I am thou. Thou art I.
The gymnast arcana.
Yes. The fabled gymnast arcana.
Oopsies.
Persona.
Faith
I have
persona.
obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom.
It's also a very strong build in Elden Ring.
LaFois!
LaFois.
Oh, she's only got 5 stars.
He only has 5 stars, yeah.
Interesting. Do different people have different max ranks? Weird. Or do when I get to a certain point, is like, here's more. I don't know. Okay.
Nonchalant whispering.
Oh, why don't we exchange contact information?
Sure.
Huh? It's shut down. Sorry.
Oh,
my
no.
smartphone's been acting up lately.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's back. Okay, I'll contact you when I've got free time, if that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure it is. Yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, weird app's gonna show up on your phone, isn't it?
The cleanup event will be ending.
No, there's no weird app on my phone, but it was weird. I put my hand in the TV last night. And there was a bear.
In the bins here. Instead, bring your waste to the predetermined location for disposal.
I hope this very nice person that I've already forgotten her name, just, like, after being so cordial and so, like, nice and kind and sweet and proper, at the end of Makoto talking, she's like, man, she's a fucking bitch, isn't she? Like, I want that so bad.
After that, we will be officially releasing everyone for the day. Thank you. Well, the cleanup seems to be finished. We're already in our gym clothes.
So close. So
Would you
close.
care for some basic training before heading home?
Sure, yeah, I have a stomach full of soup. Let's start learning backflips.
Let's start with some core exercises. Those are the foundation for staying in shape.
God. I'm begging this game to let me save. I have to pee so bad. Oh my god! Yes, we're finally home! I am Dusty. Yup. Mm-hmm. Thank you, fucking
Yay.
Jesus!
Yay!
We saved, we're
did
done.
it.
53 fucking hours in this game.
And you're level 19.
God, I hate it anyways.
Remember, the most powerful Persona are level 99.
Oh god. Yeah, we got through 4 entire days. I'm actually very surprised by this. No, more than that. What was it? We just ended on... Did it just say we ended on the 30th? Wait, what fucking day was it?
Well, the Twitch says you started on the 23rd.
Yeah, I got through 7 whole fucking days.
We did a week.
That's a lot.
That's very good. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of me too.
I'm proud of you for remembering cabbages and that you went through a week. And the game anticipates your thoughts and writes it into the game, which is awesome.
That was insane. All right. So that's gonna be it for tonight, James. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.